On this episode, we dive into 7 Russell's Reserve private barrel picks that we have picked up over the years, find out what they were, and what we thought on this episode of The Bourbon Hunters. But before we get started, do you want to support our podcast? Do you like our bourbon gear? Visit our website at www.bourbonhunters.com to buy some of our custom bourbon gear and help support the podcast. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us on our hunt for great bourbon. Reward yourself and sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy. Welcome to another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. I'm Dude Pool. I'm joined by
Brett Bryan
and
the Flying Buckeye.
Oh,
I like
nice.
it.
He's got his own nickname now.
Insignia.
Apparently, Tyler's putting us on a roller coaster ride. He said, "Hey, both my kids are giving us trouble, so I can't make it." I said, "Just kick them in the nuts." And about 2 minutes later, he said, "Kick them in the nuts on my way." And then he said, "Are you guys out back?" So he must really be on his way.
He must be really on his way.
I don't know if he really kicked them in the nuts.
Maybe they haven't descended yet. They're nuts. Like they're,
Yeah. He kicked
just
him
a flesh wound.
kicked him in the undescended nuts.
Yeah.
All right. And so he's on his way, but I'm going to tell him to go
He took the
through
advice.
the
Solid.
house and grab glasses when you get here. All right. So today I was looking through the list of things that we haven't done in a while, and I've got 7 barrel picks of Russell's Reserve.
It's a lot.
That's a
And
lot.
we haven't done Russell's Reserve since last year. So I figured that we may as well do that. And we missed last week, had a little family issues. So had to go down to my parents' house, and we didn't get to record. I had to cancel that day. Well, the night before, actually. So.
Yeah.
But, all right. We're here, though. So thanks for coming back to us after a week off. We probably deserved it anyway.
Yeah.
We had probably done like
You guys needed a break from us, probably.
50 weeks in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow, what a streak.
Or episodes or something. So, yeah, we have to start back at 1. Our streak is now 1. So, all right. The way we've got this here is we've got it divided up. So, oddly enough, I thought this was funny, Chris. You'll appreciate this. Brett and I were laying these out, and all of them are on the 4th floor of some rick house.
Isn't that strange?
Oh, wow.
Every one of them.
You got 7 just random picks here, and they
Yes.
all came from that 4th level.
Yes. Different rick houses.
Interesting.
Well, not all are different. We have 3 Ks, floor 4. We have 2 Fs, floor 4. We have an M, floor 4, and a G, floor 4. The letter is the rick house. So rick house, K, F, M, and G all represented today.
Now, it'd be interesting, and Jason might know the answer to this. He's not here. But he might know the answer to this. They may dedicate the 4th floor to barrel picks.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, I bet so.
Maybe. From what I've heard, depending on who the barrel pick host is, they just start going through the rick house tasting stuff. That's why it's high on my list of unaccomplished barrel pick being present for. That's on my list. I cannot
Same.
wait. Now, I did miss the Mash and Journey pick because they said they were going to release at 6, I think it was. So I had a break in my day, and I think I was in Toronto maybe.
I believe you were, yeah.
And they released, I had a break in my day, and they didn't send the email till 6:30, and at that point I was in a meeting. So I totally missed it. And he had Russell's Reserve pick and 2 Wild Turkeys?
And, yeah, 2 Kentucky Spirits.
Or that's what I meant.
Yeah,
which is the Wild Turkey.
It's like a 101 single barrel,
101
essentially.
single barrel, yeah.
Those fuckers went fast. They were all gone.
I would have had them because I'm in that tier, but I just a half hour later was too late.
And
wow.
I'm usually not really good at waiting for my phone, just the minute to when it becomes my time. And I did that for this one because I love Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey, me too. I wanted it because I knew Bourbon Enthusiast the next week the week before had their release.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, sweet, I'm going to get 2 Russell's Reserve barrel picks and 2 Wild Kentucky Spirit barrel picks.
Fucking gone.
Really?
Gone, yep.
They gone. Now, we'll see. Maybe Jason will let us have a sippy poo of his, and
I'm sure he will.
Give it a little whirl.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll let us sample.
All right. I think since we have 3 of them, let's finish with K. Let's start with G, the one by you,
Okay.
and probably even closest to being the most empty. Maybe this one. Those two are probably the closest. But let's do that and pass it around.
I'm doing small pours just because there is a lot.
7 glasses, man. That's nothing.
And I do have to work early in the morning,
That's not a thing.
per the usual.
Not a thing.
It's the week after a holiday weekend. Nobody really expects a lot of production.
Well, I know my workout did not expect any production yesterday. I couldn't get over a 170 heart rate without feel like I was. It was just all that stress from last week. And
Oh, I'm
everything.
sure.
It was too much.
Yeah, my workout went pretty rough as well. I was feeling like shit like this morning, like just my body.
Yeah, I guess I should. I mean, at some point, I should probably say something that's going to come up. So last week on Monday, my father passed away kind of unexpectedly, and so I had to drive home, help my mom with some funeral arrangements, and then came back here, grabbed Trina and my kids. We went back down for the funeral showing was Friday, funeral was on Saturday. But it was a little unexpected. He was 81, but earlier that day he was out putting flags out for Memorial Day, like a week early. He was putting them out on the grave sites and for all the veterans, and then they were practicing their flag folding, and they were going to do a gun salute on Memorial Day. And he came back. My mom made him dinner, and he sat on the couch and fell asleep. And my mom said he gasped and his head kind of fell forward, so she kind of shook him to see if he would, lift his head back up so he wouldn't have trouble breathing, and he just never woke up. And she called 911, and they worked on him for a while, but he never got his heart rate back or, heartbeat back.
Yeah.
So
Very unfortunate.
but it sounds like you went
That to me,
quick and painless.
that is the ideal way.
Asleep, like
in your own home.
Right.
Not many people have that luxury of being in their own home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I work in a horrible cancer hospital, horrible because of what's going on, cancer hospital, right? And you see a lot of terrible things with, the slow, degradation of people.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about.
And
like
everything.
He could have been going through chemo for a year or two or whatever.
Right.
Or, a slow,
in and out of testing
Right.
nonstop. And
Right.
like,
Now,
that's horrible
he was
to
active.
see that stuff.
He had just run a Rotary fundraising golf tournament the weekend before. My sister and her family were able to be there that weekend, so it was the day before he died. They left, and he was there. They hung out with him. She had not been home for 6 years. He had, they'd seen them.
Yeah.
They'd gone to visit her, but she hadn't been to our hometown in 6 years, and so that was kind of nice that she got to unknowingly be there.
Yeah.
The last weekend
Yeah.
before he died, and so that was nice for them. My nephews, one of them got to sit and talk to him till like 2 a.m. on Saturday night. I'm not going to say that that's what caused it, keeping him up late. No, I'm just kidding. But so he was really, I think happy that he got that time to spend with him and talk to him and stuff.
Absolutely.
And so that was nice for him. So, I mean, and I had seen them. I had gone down there a few times just because, I'm the closest to them as far as like not
distance-wise.
Distance-wise, not emotional or whatever. But, yeah, I mean.
Cheers to him.
Yeah, so first drink. Here we go.
Cheers to him.
It was crazy, though. I'll tell you what. I mean, if you want to live a life that people, like, what is it, Tim McGraw, his Standing Room Only song right now, like, that's the life he lived. I mean, he was in everything. He was a charter member of the local Rotary. He was in the Area Veterans Association. He was on the Marietta Memorial Hospital Foundation, helping them raise money and do stuff. He was in a local area, fundraising group. He was on the Chamber of Commerce. He was the president of the Chamber of Commerce at one point. He was the president of the Rotary Club at one point.
Wow.
Yeah. Most of us won't do half of that.
Yeah.
He was a dentist in his town for 50 years, 47 technically, but 50 years. It's
a long time.
Yeah. So the worst part about the whole thing was my mom and dad's 57th wedding anniversary was Saturday when they.
Oh wow!
His funeral. That was their wedding anniversary. So, but the showing was supposed to be from 6 to 8, and they opened the doors early at 5:30 because so many people were in the parking lot already, and it wasn't over till 9.
Well, he probably knew so many people because he was involved. He was so in the community so much. Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
It was crazy, and then the service was really amazing too on Saturday. They had my cousin who lives in Arkansas is a minister. He came and said some words. One of my dad's better friends is a minister, and he came into town. They golfed a lot together, and it was really, really nice. And then, the Rotary Club came and talked. The Veterans Association came and talked, and I mean, then they did a 21-gun salute outside.
I hate seeing that.
It was rough.
It's emotional. Is why I hate seeing it. That's what I mean by it.
Honestly, that was the part where I had the most trouble holding it together. Was that part?
Yeah. I've seen a few of those, and that's never easy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, even if you're not... Like, I wasn't in the service, right? But
no, I wasn't either.
My uncle served in the war and stuff, and when he passed, they did that, and man, it just hits you right in the feels.
It does. And
it's that Hollywood moment that comes to your front door.
I think that's part of it, because you see it in movies, and it means so much when you see it in a movie, and then when you see it in person, it just kind of hits you in a different place. But, it was a good service.
Taps, that's what I was looking for when they played taps.
Well, they played that on the bugle, and the guy played it so well. I was like, wow. And then after they were done with that, a lady played the bagpipes, played Amazing Grace.
Oh, God, that's another one that gets me.
That's what I mean. So just the whole thing, I was just like, and there was not a dry eye in the area. It was crazy.
Those two things always get you, man.
Yeah. Then they fold the flag, give it to my mom, take the shells from the 21-gun salute, put it in the bag with and then we handed them out. They actually had... Between the immediate kids and the grandkids, there are 12 of us, and there were 12 shells. So it was like perfect. And my mom. So that was 12 shells. So we each got a shell. One person's gun was not firing, and there might have been 2 people's, but they only had 12 shells that they put in, so it worked out perfect. I'm going to see if Andrew can maybe drill a hole in one, and I can put like a chain through it and hang it from my rear view mirror.
He 100% can do that.
I think he has a drill press, so I think he should be able to put it in a vise and do that.
Right.
So, that was my week.
Guy.
Yeah.
Especially to take his free time, and go and plant those flags. It helps to keep in mind what that weekend is for. It's not all the barbecues and fun and drinking and all that.
Absolutely.
There's a real remembrance and a real reason for that.
Well, and I think people mistake Memorial Day for Veterans Day, and they forget that Memorial Day is the one for people who have died while serving.
Correct.
Whereas Veterans Day is just anyone who served.
Appreciating who served.
Yeah. So it's a nice remembrance. The fact that we did it on Saturday and Memorial Day was on Monday was just another thing in all that. It was
him being a veteran, you know what I mean? Just like
what was really nice is my whole family just came in from everywhere. Our family is very spread out. So we have Arkansas, Houston, we have Huntington, West Virginia, we have Eastern Pennsylvania, Virginia up near Pennsylvania, and then I think there might even be New Jersey or Baltimore or something like that with one of them. They all came, every one of them. And it was the first time I'd seen them all together in a long time, And it was funny because my mom, she's a sibling. She has one sibling. Her sister is 14 years older than her, so she's about to turn 92.
Damn.
Well, so she's on Facebook a lot, her sister. And so she posted, I lost my favorite brother-in-law. Right? Brother-in-law?
Yes.
Yeah. And my mom thought she was being a smartass because they're just only siblings.
Well, I was going to say, yeah.
And I'm like, no, Mom. Her husband had brothers.
Yeah.
Which were also her brother-in-law. I said, that's a compliment. And she's like, oh, yeah. So at first she thought my aunt was being a smartass.
Right.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Then I had to remind her, I was like, no, she has other brother-in-laws. So that's actually a compliment. And so she liked that. But yeah, my cousin Kevin came, and he gave this just really, and if you know our family, you know me, right? So I'm always joking, even not the greatest times.
Yeah.
That's how my mom is, and that's how she was this whole weekend. That's how
it's an easy way to deal with
handle
things.
with emotions.
I do the same thing.
It's almost a deflection, but it's also just another way to process stuff.
Or helping out the others around you too when you're
throwing
in some humor.
I agree.
But I think it was interesting because we were all just telling stories, laughing all weekend. It was.
I like to share a funny story in those moments of someone.
And
Like, can you believe,
right.
one of those?
And we were all doing that. We were all talking about those things, and it was nice. I mean, it was as good as it could have been. And then I came back here, had a nice little bouquet from my work. They, sent me something, which is always nice that they do that.
A celebration of life is what it should be.
Yeah.
Right? It should be about that.
It should be. You're right. And so after the service, we did a celebration of life. We had a whole bunch of food catered and brought in, and it was really nice. It was just, the whole weekend was just as good as it could have been. It was nice weather. It was, people seeing each other that hadn't seen each other in a while. It was just a good group, and it was a great weekend.
Well, good.
So, I mean, considering
what
brought us together.
Right.
So, obviously. But 15 minutes in, and I brought us down.
You're good.
Did we ever drink?
We did not.
We did not yet.
Okay, well, here.
Cheers.
To my dad. And
Cheers.
So which one was this? This was
G4.
G4. Oh, this is good. Damn. All right. First
Wow,
one.
that is good.
And it's almost gone. I'm pretty upset about this.
Yeah, I do love some Russells. The Russells is my my wheelhouse for sure.
Well, and I like Russell's so much that's my infinity bottle downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And I have not added the new one to my infinity bottle. And now I'm not even sure I know which one it is. It's got to be this one.
I would assume, yeah.
Well, shit. Yes,
it's another K.
Is.
It's another K. I know that.
Because it says dumped 7/15/22.
Okay.
Wait, no, that can't be right. Hold on.
It's definitely a K. I know that because when I saw it was a K, I was excited.
Well, it's got this label, so that's got to be it.
Yeah.
This one says 8/19/22, which is funny but this is the Wild Turkey Visitor Center.
Who knows how long that could have been sitting?
It had to have been, because this is the newer label, so it's got to be it. All right, so interesting. But that's an old one that's been sitting around for a minute.
Oh, have you seen the new just shelfer labels that they have the white on the bottom of
they're
them?
nice. I've got one in the basement.
Yeah,
with the new label. It's I like it.
I do too.
They're always updating and tinkering just to kind of give them a little bit of a.
Yeah, those ones that are just off the shelf, are those worth the grab?
I think so.
Yeah, they are.
And they're single barrels, right? So you got to remember, some are going to be better than others.
But I think they try to find a particular profile on those. But you're right, they could be a little better than others. And the one thing I like those better than the 10 years.
Same.
Generally.
Yep, same.
And the 10 years I think are batch. They're not single barrels.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, I get a little bit more orange on the 10 years. I get a little bit of a citrusy kind of flavor that I don't get on anything else from them.
Yeah, there's something I don't really care for in the 10 year.
And it's not that I don't care for it. I just don't like it as much.
Yeah.
So, but this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this is really
I'm
good.
surprised by it. I'm new to the whole Russell's Reserve thing because I previously shied away from the Wild Turkey stuff because all that's really rough. The higher proof and all that.
Yeah.
I call them the cowboy whiskeys. This stuff, this what I've had is really, really, really good.
Well, and they're only 110 or 114? What is it?
110.
Yeah, so they're 110. So they're not really that bad. I mean, it's only 3 higher than an Antique 107,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or, whatever else. That's right in the range of all the Maker's Marks, to be honest.
Right, that's right at the range of this.
Yeah. Now, Maker's tends to be a little bit of a softer, overall profile, but...
Don't they do the Solera process? Or no?
Who's they?
Makers.
They don't do Solera. They do, they hand rotate every one of their barrels. So they should all have been in high
I thought
and
they
low.
did something with, maybe they all have the same mash
Blade
bills.
and Bow does Solera.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Is everything's the exact same mash bill.
Everything from Maker's Mark starts as the same.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm
What
thinking
they do
of.
with it from there is up, depending on what they do. So even their Maker's Mark cask strength is where Maker's 46 starts. They dump it as cask strength and then they add the staves in.
Right.
With the any private selection, they start with Maker's cask and then they add the staves. So it's that's how they start the private selects. That's their way of doing a single barrel, even though they're not technically a single barrel, because they all start, and according to them, they should all be the same flavor, which is probably
proud
impossible.
of their mash bill.
Yeah,
they're
they
proud
are.
of not changing it, not tailoring it to a particular.
Well, but
line of product.
it speeds up their production so that they can just concentrate on one.
Yeah, they're not cleaning out a vat and changing it over,
or even running multiple stills, doing different things, having to watch different stuff. I mean, they're creating one thing on, what do they have, 3 stills? Is that what they had when we went?
I think they had more than that, didn't
They
they?
may have. I remember there for sure being 3, but there might have been more than that. But the point is that they were dedicated to all the same mash bill, whereas another place might have 3 or 4 stills doing 3 or 4 different mash bills. A wheated, a high rye, a low rye. Buffalo Trace. I know they have a ton more stills probably now, especially, but they're doing a wheated, a high rye, a low rye, and what else are they doing there? Is that it?
All that I knew about.
I mean, I don't know if the vodka comes off the same still or not.
Well, I think
or they have a still dedicated.
I think it's
but I think it does. It's
like a dedicated still for that. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it's a dedicated still, but it's a corn. It's basically their corn white dog and then their wheat white dog. They're both separately distilled 5 times, then blended, and then 5 more times distilled.
There he is.
So kicked him in the nuts, huh? Well, he just happened to grab 3 glasses, so that's nice. All right, so Tyler has joined the party. He kicked his kids in the nuts.
Yeah, I want to hear about this.
Yeah. So what happened
took the advice.
What happened between when I said, or when you said you weren't coming, and then 5 minutes later you're on your way?
Everything just calmed down.
That was quick.
Yeah, it can happen that quick.
The kids were like, whoa, wait. This guy's sticking around. If we don't calm down, let's calm down.
Yeah. I think it's just calmed down pretty quick.
So back to lighter notes. What did everyone do for Memorial Day? Which was yesterday.
Way too much yard work.
It was a bender weekend for me.
Oh, yeah?
Not intentionally.
All right. Well, I mean, is it ever intentional? Well, I guess it could be.
No, we all decided to get Zoombezi vape passes, so we kind of spent the entire day, Sunday and Monday, just kind of
with a group or just you two?
A group.
Nice.
Yeah.
Brian was at Zoombezi Bay yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard that Lazy River is nice.
That's we wanted to go see the
do
new
they serve
revamped.
alcohol while you're?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they redid it?
They redid it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait, how long ago?
Right after the coronavirus pandemic. So they were going to reveal it and open it up
So
for
wait,
21.
Are you saying that the pandemic's over?
At least the federal government thinks it is.
All right.
That's
Fair
true.
enough.
It's a whole brand new lazy river. It takes about 15 minutes to go through, and they got a little swim up bar. They have a big shack, and there's 2 sides to it.
No.
Okay.
The newest one's here.
They always serve beer though, right? They always serve.
They had 7 or 8 different kinds of beers, including IPAs and their own little brew.
Nice. And then liquor too.
Hey, we have 7 of these. Don't forget.
Oh, I thought you had already drank it.
That one. We just started.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Can't put it back in the bottle.
Like, 7 pours. Like, what do you mean?
7 bottles to get through. So calm your pores down, buddy.
Love that.
Didn't know it was a twofer today, did you?
No.
All right. So what'd you do for Memorial Day?
Jillian worked about half the day, so I had both kids.
Man, there were clients on Memorial Day
all the time. She finds it it's a big day because
people have the day off.
Yeah.
Retail,
but
you kind of have to cater.
Yeah, and I'm not that's not something I would ever be upset at her about. Sometimes I'm like, really,
considering
4th of July,
she brings in the money.
Yeah,
I feel like clients are annoying.
No, but
if she wants to work it,
I'm annoyed at people wanting to do that on a holiday.
That's what I mean. Like my brother-in-law owns a business, and it's nothing on a Sunday night at like 7 o'clock for someone to be like, "Hey, man, I wrecked my car," and he's like, "Then fucking call me in the morning."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
See
like,
at 8 a.m.
What do you think I'm going to do between now and tomorrow?
Yeah. Which,
like, flat tire maybe, but you wrecked your car.
Yeah, like I hit a deer.
This is a couple week thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you hit a deer. Great. Fucking call me in the morning.
Yeah, you're getting a 5-hour head start, like on a couple week process. Like seriously.
Yeah. And I think more of like that will happen less as Jillian grows. If she had like 5 people working for her.
Oh, she gaining weight?
No, actually.
Oh yeah.
The other way.
Oh yeah.
But I started the weekend off by going to Jillian and I celebrated our anniversary.
Oh, nice.
And so we did a little staycation for pretty cheap. Stayed at the new Hilton skyscraper, technically.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Downtown?
Yep.
How was it?
I liked it. So one of the cool things I think about.
Did you soil the? Did you soil the new building?
Yes, we soiled the new building.
Did you Jackson Pollock the sheets?
Yeah.
Give the security guys something to look at.
So everything, the rooms, I was upgraded, not to anything super fancy, but I was upgraded. So I can't say if this is how all of the rooms look, but it was
it had a bed.
Yeah, it had a bed.
Nice. Big upgrade. Big upgrade for you.
Just everything was nice and new.
Yeah.
They utilized technology. I think like within the last year, if not even sooner. But I honestly, I'm not sure. But they utilized technology perfectly, in my opinion. You check in from your phone. You can use your key card as your phone. All the gadgets in the room you can control from your phone.
So Hilton's finally caught up to Marriott?
Potentially, yeah. I don't know.
I am partial to Marriott.
I think most people would be, but there's just not that many of them as there are Hiltons.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, when you travel to more remote, there's always more Hiltons than there is Marriott.
I think you're mistaken.
No, there's always a Hampton.
There's a shit ton of
always.
Do you know what all is included in Marriott?
There's a lot of brands.
Yeah,
Marriott
do you know what's all included in Hilton?
Yeah, they're the two biggest chains out there. So I don't know.
But there's more Hilton. There's more Hilton.
I would say they're probably equally as available.
I would say, I haven't been doing it as long, but I'd say that my travel destinations are more remote than yours. But you've been traveling for quite a bit longer, so I will say that.
Well,
but
I'm older.
I think Hilton's a little too stingy with their points.
I do too.
They are weird about it.
Yeah.
But so then we went to. Go ahead.
Did you take a drink of the shit?
No, not yet.
I know. I need my next one.
Go ahead. Pour the next one.
Well, we're waiting for you to catch up, Tiger. Probably should have asked you first, so he could drink and catch up.
Yeah.
We went up to Stories on High. Which they are a bar, and they have 2 rooftop areas. It's pretty much, open on 3 sides. Not open on 3 sides, but the view's 3 sides. Which was great. They had a decent high-end selection of bourbon. That's where I had the William LaRue Weller.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. and I obviously it's my anniversary, so.
What day was your anniversary?
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So Friday.
Day different than my
Right.
parents.
I know.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So I had that, which was fantastic. They had E.H. Taylor barrel proof as well. And then their small batch. They had some good ones. They had. I didn't check the price on all of them, but Old Fitz 17, Elijah Craig 18. They had a whole list of some higher end toasted barrel. Elijah Craig toasted barrel.
What all did you taste?
I just had the William LaRue Weller, and then I also had one of their cocktails, which was I'm on the weird side of this, but it was too sweet for me. I don't know. I do not. No, that's why I usually have things neat, is because I don't like that.
I'm down with that. I don't like things too sweet either.
Yeah. So then we went from there.
But you guys love me.
Yeah. So they had appetizers there. They don't serve main courses, but
really?
Yeah. Just appetizers. They have sushi and things, or sashimi.
It's called tapas now. You got to be classy.
Yeah, whatever.
Tapas.
Yeah.
Or small plates.
Small plates.
Small plates.
And then we went to Martini after that.
Okay.
And then we went to Martini.
I love Martini.
So I had there was a Watershed barrel proof bourbon I had there that had like an aftertaste. They had an aftertaste that I could not.
I don't like their stuff.
I haven't had their barrel proof.
I didn't think it was the worst.
No, it's not the worst. It's just not good.
Yeah. And then I also had their blends, their CMR pick. So.
Well, yeah.
But dude, they had a lamb shank over a mushroom risotto that was just unreal. Nice. They have their normal, I think, veal shank, but this was lamb.
Nice.
And I was like, fuck yes. And that's what we did. Then we went back to the hotel.
Banged one out.
Went to bed. Finally got to sleep in. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. How about floor were you on? Could you get a good view of the convention center downtown?
This was also the nice thing about that status is, I could pick the room that I wanted to. They gave me the up there, but I could have. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I picked.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I picked the 25th floor. So it was cool.
25.
I mean, there's not much of a skyline to look at. It's not insane, but it was nice.
Yeah. You should have pissed them off and said, I want the 13th floor. See what they would have done. Yeah. It's a superstition,
Yeah, most places don't have.
They don't have the 13th floor.
So in the hospital where I work, the James, we don't have a 13th floor.
What floor is it for being John Malkovich? Is it like the 11.5 floor or something like that?
Oh, God, I don't know if I remember that.
What's the superstition?
13's unlucky.
No, yeah.
So it's just number related. But is there any past history with that?
Yeah, it's where all the murders happen.
People jumping off their balconies and such.
I mean, they legit thought that at the hospital, that people would not want to have treatment on the 13th floor, and so that's why they didn't do it. There's a lot of superstitions.
But what's funny is the 14th floor is now the 13th floor.
I agree, but just it doesn't have the number.
Unless you do like a little person floor.
Like a crawl space?
Like a
building crawl space?
Harry Potter closets.
Yeah.
We have a lot of those. We have like mechanical floors that are a floor and a half, and then like there is no floor 3. Like floor 2 was moved up, and then there's like concrete because there's radiation oncology, so to block radiation is extra levels of concrete. So it's all real weird like that. So they're really, I don't know where 13 could technically be like 15 or something at that point.
Right.
Nice.
But still, like, it's just like, come on, people.
I've even seen that on airplanes where they'll skip the 13th row. We go 12 to 14.
I sit on. I don't think American Airlines does that because I always see 13 and I always pick it. Actually,
that's funny.
All right.
How did your training go? Are you still in it?
I just passed Saturday.
Fuck yeah,
Part
congrats.
of why I was doing a bender this past weekend.
That's why it took. That's why it took 3 months. He failed twice and he finally passed.
So when you get
scoop me along,
your bump and everything.
All right, we can't let this guy fail. We got to pass him.
So was this for your pilots? Like your? I'm kind of ignorant to this.
He's moved from American Eagle to American Airlines.
Right. The more of the transcon runners.
Being serious.
Okay, I thought like you meant.
So it's a nice. Not only is it a promotion, but it's probably an increase in pay.
Okay.
All the above.
So like when you're on those little Embraers, that's usually American Eagle.
I didn't know that.
I already started doing it.
American
it's American.
So it's kind of a 2-step process where they.
Hey, dipshits, we're talking.
I'm explaining some shit to Brett because he's a newbie to this
I didn't know about American Eagle. I didn't know that.
He thought I was talking about the clothing.
Yeah, I thought you were like joking about the clothing line.
Like he was flying private for American.
That too.
That'd be sweet. American Eagle.
I mean, their board members are in charge of Limited just down the road.
Have you ever
She's gone now.
Any cargo
I just like
flights?
she caught mine.
I mean, they load cargo underneath, but it's not strictly cargo.
You ever done cargo shorts?
I have.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, I love
cargo shorts
is such an Ohio thing.
They need to come
Cargo
back.
shorts is the regional carrier for cargo.
Oh, okay, for cargo lines.
Yeah. So
I'm
the transatlantic flights that you've done transatlantic, right? Are you doing like
that's upcoming?
That's upcoming.
That's the next step.
So where did you fly to now?
Really still just running around North America, but we have the potential to run down to South America.
Can you fly us? Can you be our pilot to Grenada?
Yeah.
We're going to Grenada next month.
I don't know
what
you
want.
want.
Really?
Yeah. Could you like legitimately like fly down there, stay for a week, and then be the pilot home?
I doubt that.
They wouldn't have a pilot to get anyone back.
Well, I mean,
I would just
someone
stay
else
on the
could do
island.
that.
He would just not be the pilot.
Let me put it, if you're staying at a Hilton brand, I ain't going.
It's Sandals.
Yeah, it's a Sandals. We're going to say it's Sandals.
It's a year from this last weekend.
Yes, literally today.
Yeah. So we're going.
No.
And Brett is not going to go.
I have too much.
It's an official Bourbon Hunters trip, and you're not going.
I have too much going on right now.
That is bullshit.
This guy always has too much going on.
He's got too much going on right now that he can't plan a trip a year out.
Well,
I don't blame him.
I'm spending a lot of money on the house.
Can I declare
coming up
shenanigans
soon?
right
You can
now?
declare.
What are
Hey,
Do declare.
Hey,
bankruptcy.
hey.
Trying to not do that.
Here's my thing.
This is super buttery and toffee.
You don't have to
which
rush.
one is this one?
You don't have to rush your house stuff. You can take a year off so that you can go on a couple trips with your friends.
This is true.
What other house stuff you want to do?
I'm telling you this before you answer that question. At the end of the day, you're going to have done a whole bunch of stuff for your house, and you're not going to really have anything to show for it except for you've done stuff for your house, versus you're going to have an epic fucking trip with us, and you're going to have something to talk about for the rest of your lives. After 2 years or so from now, when Tyler pisses all of us off and we never talk to him again, we'll at least still have
fucking trip.
Right.
Well, I'm assuming there's going to be more than this trip that you guys are going to do. Number one. I feel
but if Tyler pisses everyone off in 2 years, this might be the last.
Tyler always pisses everyone off, and so I feel like that's just going to be the baseline.
Honestly,
I did running his children.
I did think of our yearly bourbon trip in December, how it's a little bit closer to that time frame, and I'm like, well, hopefully this year we can squeeze in some barrel picks to really like take advantage of.
Yeah,
hopefully Jason can pull through on that.
Yeah,
or us. We're popular. People like us.
But I'm doing Iceland. That's going to be an expensive trip.
Good. Yeah. When are you doing that?
Into September.
Okay.
So you still have like 8 months after that.
I know. And then I'm redoing my kitchen. I'm potentially doing both bathrooms and like a patio.
Oh, fuck.
My gosh.
So
wait, don't you have a deck?
Why?
He trims the bush around his deck.
Yeah, it makes it look bigger.
Makes it look
if you trim the
bigger,
bush,
yeah.
the deck looks bigger. So it may not all happen this year, but like I just want to start getting some things like knocked out. I've been in this house for a while now. I was on the fence of wanting to sell and move somewhere else, but just the price of homes right now versus interest. I'm not.
I just don't understand why people. The starter home thing is what's caused most of the problem in this country.
No,
He's agreeing with you.
I'm not going to do it.
I'm
thought
agreeing
about
with how
it,
dumb that idea was.
but I don't love the place that I live in either.
I love the place that you live in.
You've never seen the inside of my
well,
house.
not with you there, I haven't.
You're not impressed, I promise. But I don't love the place that I live in, and I just want to enjoy the place that I live in more, and I think some updates will make me like it more.
Well, you know what? You can still do those updates in 2 years, and you'll still like it more by the time you're done. You go on this trip, and then you'll have this amazing memory to hold you through while you're doing your updates.
It will. That memory's carried me 5 years, 4 years.
Jamaica?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I need another. I need another.
Holy shit!
one.
It was such a fun trip.
I love peer pressure. I'm just sitting back
No, but
looking at
seriously,
this.
No, well, I'll never blame you. I hope dude pressures you, but I'm not going to pressure you, because I 110% don't blame anyone for not going on that.
Yes, you do.
I mean,
not
also,
really.
That's not what your texts say to me.
when I get some quotes,
I said pressure them.
When I get some
Pressure
quotes,
these
like
fools.
He does. He texts me and says, "Hey, keep bugging them. Keep bugging them."
I'll feel better once I get some quotes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll go from there.
Let me ask
Quotes
this.
for your house.
Yeah, quotes for my house.
Is it a new mortgage, whatever this
No.
is?
No.
Have you had this for a while?
I've had it for a little while. I just refinanced in 2021 when everyone did.
Probably a fucking silly rate.
2.2.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's why I could
You're
never
holding
sell.
on to that for life.
Yeah, that's why I can never sell.
You
I got
became a landlord. You didn't even know it.
But I will say
15 years, 2.2.
I will say this
Yeah.
varies from decade to decade and suburb to suburb, but I understand that the rates are high now, but those will always fluctuate. And I don't know if it's going to fluctuate to 20% or probably never back down to 2.
No, it'll never go back down to 2.
So, but you know what will never, ever most likely change is the price of a home. So you can sit there and say, well, I'm going to wait out until it comes back down to like 4. But at the times that happens, the things are probably just going to be just as expensive. You can never refinance or change the price of the house, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can always refinance.
Agree, but depending on how much
Does anyone else feel dumber after he just got done talking?
Yeah, that wasn't.
Depending on how much
many
I
times did he
pay
say
it down,
refinance?
you know what I'm saying?
Ramsey over
as
here.
a,
I feel like he's
as
got
a
talking
down
points
payment
from
for the next
memes
place,
that he got off
right?
the internet.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
The way that
He's been
I'm,
listening
and
to
I'm
Dave
not
Ramsey.
trying to get into a whole big finance thing. This is a bourbon
He just
podcast, not
didn't
a finance
understand it completely,
podcast.
that's all.
But I'll have it paid off in like 8 years. It'll be done.
Maybe
Yeah.
by this pick he'll
So
get it.
that's why I'm like, do I pay it off and then maybe move somewhere, or do I pay it off and then I do every little fucking fun vacation thing I've ever wanted to do? That's kind of what I'm leaning towards.
Because at the end of the day, listen, I'm just coming off of a funeral.
I got it.
So perspective, and for a month now, I'll probably be thinking this way. But you got to live your life.
Absolutely.
I mean, honest to God, at the end of the day, who gives a shit how nice your house is? You're going to remember are the trips you took with the Bourbon Hunters. That's the trip. That's what you're
That
gonna
sounds
remember.
like the ultimate arm twist right there.
I mean,
You gotta
honestly,
do it.
though, whether it's with us
Just phone it
or
in.
with hookers and blow, you're going to
Phone it
enjoy.
in.
is cocaine
But-
legal there?
It's not illegal
For a price.
It's just frowned upon.
Oh, I mean, he's Googling. He's like, is cocaine legal?
So, did I ever tell you the story
Just pay off a
about
cop. Everything's legal.
one of the female coaches at our gym? Don't name names, but I was telling her how I'd never done drugs before.
Do I know said coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Very.
Okay.
So you, we were talking and she was just really, talking about drugs and, whatever. And I was like, well, I've never done drugs. And she's like, oh my gosh, not even cocaine?
Not even cocaine.
And I'm like, wait, I think you skipped a few. If that's
Roll
your,
up.
if
That's your entry?
if that's your order, then I think you skipped a few.
Yeah.
Like usually it's sniffing some glue maybe accidentally. While you're
Right to the
while you're
top there,
biddling a
booger
model
sugar.
airplane.
Booger sugar. I've never heard that.
That's good.
Booger sugar.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you Nikki Six.
And then maybe some marijuana or something like that.
Marijuana.
Doing the marijuana. And then
I was going to make a joke that this bourbon smells like the devil's lettuce.
There's a beer in town called Devil's Lettuce. I think CBC makes it.
You're smelling.
It's not the bourbon.
Yeah.
Can you pour me that?
So we're out on the patio.
By the way, this is what we have.
This is patio episode number 2 of the year. This is at my patio this year, or this time.
And so far, it's much better for a number of reasons. The company. I don't have
it wasn't just me and you, and Brett didn't stand us up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I almost stood you up, so that's fair.
Well, but we still had 3 people. And
I get what you're saying.
But the company was already better, even if you didn't come.
Yes. I mean, of course. The other thing too is, does that need to go around?
Is that number 3?
No, he's behind. That's number 2.
Who's number 2?
Who does number 2 work for?
The other thing is we don't have a.
Dracula says that now. I don't know.
We don't have a. Smoking fire in our face. A failed fire. We have some smoke in our face.
He had a solo
we have
grill thing.
You have a solo stove.
But it wasn't.
His was smoking like a motherfucker.
Yeah. So
it was like.
Here's the thing.
It wasn't supposed to be.
No.
So did you get the? Have you ever got the?
Okay.
Have you ever got the like the wood pellet packs? They're fantastic up until this time. Well, the wind was kicked up a little bit, so that always makes it a little worse. But for whatever reason, like they smoldered so much fucking quicker than normally. Usually what happens is with these packs, it's nice. You put it in there, you light it. It gives you about 25 minutes of a good fire, and then it smolders and it kind of smokes for like 5, and then it's out. And if I want to keep it going, I throw some wood on. It was just a smoke fest from second one, and I kept trying to.
Have you cleaned out your solo stove ever?
Ever? Yes.
So like
lately, probably not.
Flip it upside down and beat it like a bongo drum. I'm not being funny.
And it
gets all that because it's like this Yeti, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a dual walled thing where there's holes up here and then on the inside holes as well, and that air circulates.
So if it's clogged a little bit, then
the air's not circulating. That's the whole point of it. So beat it like a bongo drum upside down.
How does it circulate?
Then our neighbors,
for the people that are listening,
stopped
like this.
Right. Hand signals for the listeners.
Halfway through, our neighbor stopped over that no dude and talked to us for 50 minutes.
Oh fuck!
Like literally 50 minutes.
We had to pause the podcast, so we ended up with like maybe a 35-minute podcast.
Yeah, and then after we were just like, okay, see ya. Good night. It was so bad. The entire thing was so bad. It was a beautiful out.
It was great out.
It was like this.
Ruined only by the smoke.
Yeah, we can do one on my patio sometime for sure.
That's
I have nice patio furniture.
That's the plan.
He keeps saying that.
Yeah, no,
that's the plan.
We've never been
so
there.
he's going to make over the patio next, just to get out of next year's trip.
No, that's going to be a huge fucking ordeal. Like I wanted to. The patio probably won't happen this year. That's going to be fucking $30,000 probably.
Dude, I'm telling you, the people I got a quote for were awesome. And
you saw me
they
dig
stay
big asshole over
on
my
Instagram. They
place.
stay busy.
Did you do that yourself?
You got to give me their names. And
yeah,
stuff.
and I mapped out a huge one, and it was half of.
Do you?
Well, I mean, I'd pay $15,000
for it.
I looked at theirs and yours, and what would be the chances of getting it approved that I could get rid of my pavers and extend my patio?
You probably easily could.
All right. While you're on the board, let's get that.
Let's do it.
Are you on the board? That's funny.
Penman, yeah, I am.
That's funny.
So let's get that approved while you're on the board. Because
the only thing I did to twist their arms was just saying that the part that I concreted up was prone to flooding and moss and mosquitoes and all this crap.
Throw mosquitoes out there. Be like, there's a bunch of mosquitoes because of the standing water.
So is mine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I see it flooded all the time.
Yeah, it's always underwater.
Yeah.
So that's like a mixture of stamp and a.
I figured that would be more than 15.
So how do we rate this one compared to the first one? So the first one, just as a reminder, the first one was G4. This one,
that's a plain,
was M4. Yeah.
M the G4 to me
mango.
was buttery, smooth, baking spices, vanilla.
Yeah.
This one has got a sparkle to it.
Almost I do like the toffee. The toffee.
There's a toffee there's a toffee in this for me.
I like this one though.
I do too.
I like them both, actually, for different reasons.
It's funny, they're similar on the nose to me, but this one's completely different on the taste.
Yeah, they are different on the taste, for sure.
I have a teeny bit of a sore throat, which is annoying, and it's from mowing. I mowed before I came over, and the pollen is so fucking bad, it made my sinuses just drain.
Did you get your teeth cleaned?
I did.
Yeah?
Feels so good, man. I love getting my teeth cleaned.
Yes, I wish I could do it every month.
If my insurance would pay for it like every 2 months or something, I would do it.
I know, like I love mine for like the first maybe week afterwards, and then it's like, fuck, I gotta brush my teeth again.
I always have this thing though. I don't understand, like, and I get they're probably required to be social or like persuaded, but they're talking to you while they're like elbow deep in your mouth.
Yeah, well, they're fucking throw fucking you. Yeah, they're throw fucking you with their fist down to your elbow, and you're like,
they want to know about your week.
I think it's a joke. I think they do it on purpose to see what you can manage to say.
It's like a Seinfeld episode.
The biggest trolls.
Yeah.
They were trolling before it was a thing.
I do think they do it on purpose. My dad was a dentist for years. And I do think it's a thing.
I did ask her because she asked, like, for your polish, she's like, what kind of, toothpaste do you want? She's like, we want mint or bubblegum or raspberry. And I was like, she had all these flavors. I'm like, oh God, just mint. And then I was like, do you play a game where everyone comes to the door, you're like, that's a mint guy, that's a bubblegum guy? Because I would 100% do that. And she was like, well, not usually.
Not usually.
And I'm
sometimes.
I would 100% do that. I'd be like, that's a bubblegum guy. You know what I mean? Like
what would I be?
I just think you'd be like raspberry.
A chicklet.
No, spearmint. Spearmint.
Mint. I'm a mint guy.
Yeah. And so am I.
I just don't like mint and chocolate.
You're one of those people?
Yeah, I am.
You guys are weird.
And I am weird.
I don't like mint and
You don't
chocolate
like that
either.
ice cream?
No.
Love it.
Yeah,
Oreo mint chocolate chip is like...
It's like eating toothpaste and chocolate.
Yes,
Love it.
yeah.
See, here's the thing. If I ever have something chocolate, I can't go brush my teeth for a long time because I hate that.
I'm still going through these. I'm sorry.
It's not nearly the same.
It's a twist, not a back and forth. You're going to tear my...
I'm not going to...
You're going to tear my... Don't do it again.
I did this.
No, you did a seesaw.
Oh, whatever. I did a Tyler's wiener, but
For
that's
the
about
listeners
it.
at home, explain visually what you just did.
He did a seesaw.
It was a
removal
left and
of
right
the cork
twist.
as opposed to a twist.
I see no fractures in the cork.
Not yet. Only because these stay
Which
moist.
one's next for me?
This one he's pouring.
F4.
You've had two, right?
Yeah.
You need to start drinking these because you're in your last glass.
I'm going to, but I want to. I want to have a little less.
You need to get what?
I want to have more. I want to have more.
I have for me
more before I have more.
Before we do this, let me pause. Let me go get him a water. Anyone else need a water?
I'm good.
No, I got myself one.
And I'm back with water for the
Water.
So
wait,
what
can
did
you
we
pour
just
me
pour?
that?
What did we
pour
just
me
pour?
that next one?
This is F4.
Yeah. So this is warehouse F4 floor. We said earlier all of these are 4 floor, which is
Wait, this is an F4 over here.
We have 2 F4s. We have 2 F4s. We should have done those back.
How many have we poured?
I'm on number 3.
So I think
I've had 2.
That is the one then. That's the third one. We're
This is
on
the
our
one that
third
got
one.
passed.
Yeah, because I've only.
So
this is only
that's my
third
mistake,
drink, right?
Yeah.
So this is interesting. We'll do F4 back to back actually, and I have a second glass.
We've got 3 K4s coming after this.
Is his next?
This is what was passed.
Okay.
Yes. But I'm actually probably going to pour this F4 as well, so I can kind of go back and forth between them.
Let's do that.
Because I have, and I'll rock this back and forth when I take that off, right?
You jackass! Don't seesaw. No
I
seesaw.
didn't.
Seesaw. That time you didn't. Tyler, what did you do with the lid, Tyler?
So this lid goes with this.
Yeah. Tyler,
over here.
So
it's right here. No,
Okay.
So, dude, yesterday
you got your pour, right?
We went up to my in-laws, and they have a pool, and Heath actually came out for the day, and we went swimming and took Carter, and I was like, we were just talking as we were in the pool. We're just like, a year from now, we're going to be in tropical paradise.
Oh yeah, he's coming, right?
Yeah, for
nice. Is Britt
for
coming
5
too?
days.
And
Yeah.
AJ and Steph too, right?
Yeah.
It's already a good group, man.
That's a
It's
good
already a good
group.
group.
I know.
I'm telling you.
Well, that's a good group too, where people like.
Chris,
I hate when everyone feels
an open
obligated to do the
invite.
same
No,
thing,
my 5-year
won't.
anniversary.
and people can like.
We didn't do
we'll
that
give
in
you the
Jamaica.
do their own thing and then come back
What's that?
too.
We'll give you the details.
Okay.
But it's an open invite.
Here's the thing, Brett. Tyler's not going to do shit on that vacation. He's going to sit and drink at the pool.
Yeah.
If you want to do excursions,
Actually,
you'll be on your own, or you'll
Yeah.
be with me and Trina, or whatever.
and AJ and Steph, they're
excursionites.
So yes, and so is Britt and Heath. But I will say false because Jamaica's a different story from obviously
No, but
we
you
had our
said
wedding.
you don't like excursions.
For the most part, because I want to give my money just
Drinking
relaxing,
and eating, and
yes.
what
But
you
I
already
will
paid
say
for before you left.
yes. Grenada is more of a destination for me, like it being a smaller tropical, West Indies type of island, and it's the spice capital of the Western Hemisphere. It's a well-known chocolate place.
The spice
And there's
capital.
the
read
Western
the Cliff Notes.
Yeah,
And rum.
And probably rum, yeah.
Where's the rum?
They have like, they have a couple of different specialty chocolate places because, the Cocoa Bean is...
I've already looked up the liquor stores.
Yeah, liquor stores. Then there's also another...
And the duty frees, don't skip
there's
those.
There's a couple of highly rated bars that I just want to go and like have a drink there and just experience that. But there's also a number of beaches that just look movie-like. Like just... forest up to not the edge but like tropicalness up to fucking 20 feet, sandy beach, amazing water, and that just I need to go and be there for an hour and just experience it.
No,
Jamaica has some cool parts, but it's not that like go out. So I will say I will probably do a half day of going into St. George's, which is
that's why I'm doing a full week. I'm not doing the 5-day bullshit.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Travel
if I was
day,
Dude Pool made of money, I would.
I'm not made of money, but I'm made of not wasting a trip.
He knows how to spend it.
Well, you know how much the flight costs. You want to get your money's worth.
Well, I know how long it takes to get there. I don't want to spend 5 days there. I want to spend 7.
I don't blame you.
It's a vacation, damn it.
No, I totally understand.
All right, we've got these two F4s. Is that what these are?
That's correct. F4s.
F4s. All right, so let's do these side by side.
We're barreled at the same day, too.
Barreled the same day?
I get a nice...
Are they the same one?
Wow. No, they're not.
Okay, I was going to that's be hilarious.
I get a nice like...
No. One is 0592 and one is 0751.
I get a nice strawberry licorice on the nose.
Both from...
cherry, strawberry licorice.
On which one?
Twizzlers.
Which one?
I think he only poured one because he only had one glass.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Tyler.
What are you talking about? You.
We poured 2.
Because these are the same. Both of these F4s are the same.
I don't think I poured the second one.
That's what we're saying.
What's your third one?
Well, I'll have to finish those. But I'm just going to have the first one first, and then I'll have the second one, you dick.
There's all of us, and then there's
fucking dickheads.
The latecomer is screwing it all
Seriously,
up.
what the fuck, man? We got to just change everything for him. All right. So everyone except for Tyler, what'd you get on the first nose?
I don't know what the hell I'm smelling. Which one is this?
No, this is the first nose.
That's this one. Is the one that we're all smelling right now.
I think.
I hope.
It is. I paid attention, I swear.
Well, it gives me a little bit of a burn, but I did just blow my nose, so...
I get some of that sweet fruit you're talking about, ironically.
Yeah. I get almost like an apple, candied apple, maybe.
I was like a maraschino cherry.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like a cherry licorice. Twizzler.
Yeah, Twizzler.
That's good. Yeah. I like that. But I still get a little bit of apple in there. It's like a little
It's more on
a green apple even.
It's more on the palate.
A Granny Smith apple.
To me.
Ooh. I get a little bit of maybe tobacco on that one. This one's probably the spiciest one we've had.
Yeah.
To me. I'm not sure that I'm down to clown with this one compared to the other two. It's good, but it's just not as good as some of the others. It's different, which I think is interesting.
It's a finish that doesn't linger.
It's tobacco for me.
You get the tobacco too,
yeah. I was trying to figure out what that was, and then it's tobacco. I'm a little congested right now too, which sucks.
Well, I just blew my nose, and it may have opened some things up that I didn't get on the first two.
Yeah.
You mentioned being congested. I'm like, I'm kind of congested too. But I'll tell you, it did open up my nose. But I don't know if it did much for my taste, for my flavor hole. We'll see.
Flavor hole, eh?
Sounds less interesting than the glory hole.
Well,
it depends on what you're into, I guess, and which side of the glory hole you're on.
That makes a world of difference.
All right, so I'm going to go back.
Talking tobacco. I got leather.
I feel like those are synonymous with each other.
We're not talking about last night. We're talking about the.
Okay.
Or your Bender weekend.
Bender weekends and nights at the Hilton downtown.
Yeah.
How was Sam and Faith's?
I didn't go there.
Oh,
I was at a funeral, man.
Well, I understand that. I just
but
was
Sam and Faith came to the funeral.
I do know that, but I was under the impression that you were coming back
we
later.
Didn't get back till like 11 o'clock that night,
and maybe stopping by. But
there was a possibility of that. But then once the family got back from the funeral, we just hung out and reminisced and talked for.
Did you spend a memorial there? No,
we came back that night, but it wasn't.
How was
we didn't get back till 11. So if Memorial Day for me, we go to the gym and we host Murph and we host the Unknown Heroes. The Unknown Heroes is a locally written workout from Jeff Binnick from Friendship. Mm-hmm. He was a former soldier that stood guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Okay.
And so he wrote a workout
That's
called...
a big ordeal, too.
Yeah, he wrote a workout called The Unknown Heroes. And it's basically 21 different movements, each of which you do 21 reps. So you pretty much do everything you could think of under the sun.
It's rough.
It's tough, and because I was emotionally drained, I didn't have it in me. I wear a heart monitor thing, and I could not get my heart rate over 170 before I felt like I was shutting down. Mm-hmm. First round of the workout today, I was already at 174, and then tapped out at like 182 was my top. But it's just like, it's so funny because how much the stress and the emotional drain, like how much that plays on your output.
Sure.
You don't realize it until you're,
until it happens.
Yeah. You don't, because it was significant. Mm-hmm. Like I felt good when I woke up Monday, but it paid a toll. I could not get it going. But
how was the rest of
the rest of the day? Trina and I, what did we do? We went. So we came here afterwards. We didn't even get home till like 1, and then we just kind of didn't really do anything till about 4. And then at 4 o'clock, we went. We had to run some errands because we were out of like coffee creamer and dog food and stuff.
Like basic
and just
stuff,
things that we just never caught up on this last week because there was other stuff happening. And then after that, we ended up going down to the Crooked Can, and we always take our own drinks there. And when we did that, we just sat there it was a perfect day yesterday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we sat out in the Dora, the designated outdoor refreshment area. And we always take our own Yetis full of drinks. And we sat there. She went in and grabbed some food, came out, and
love that place, by the way.
Yeah,
we just sat there.
It has a lot of potential. Like there's a few things in there that need to leave.
You know what really blew the opportunity was Odie's.
Yeah.
They could have easily put a bar window.
Yep.
Up to where the fence, up by the fence where, or had them extend the fence to their walk-up window. And because the rest of the place doesn't serve liquor.
Yeah.
Right.
It's only beer and like some ciders and things like that.
Yeah.
And so like when you're in the fenced area, all it is beer. So if you want liquor, you have to walk over to Odie's and then walk back out. And I'm just like, they missed an opportunity there. They could have, when they built that thing overhead, they should have redesigned the whole bar, moved the bar to the side of that window, or to the side of that wall that faces the
where
Crooked
the painting
Can.
is?
Yeah, where the mural is. Mm-hmm. And they should have done a walk-up liquor, whatever, there.
Agree.
And unless they maybe said that you're not allowed to do some sort of liquor sale there for some reason, but you can buy liquor inside. They pour it into a Dora cup, and you can walk around with it. So I don't know what the difference would be. I don't understand what the limitation is. But I really feel like they missed an opportunity. Now, did you guys know that the owner of Odie's died?
No.
Not.
He owns like a whole bunch of... Jimmy V was his name.
Oh, I didn't know he was that. I knew Jimmy V died.
Yeah. He owned that. He owned the Ohio Brewing Company downtown.
Jimmy V's.
Yeah.
Jimmy V's, yeah.
Is that the guy that puts on the Jimmy V Classic for...
No.
Okay.
Completely different.
And he's part of the Red Door Tavern, too. That was his also.
Yeah. And so he hosted our Arnold gathering.
Nice.
At the Ohio Brewing Company. And he is quite a character, man. I talked to him on the phone a few times, and he was quite the character. Old school Italian, like total stereotypical Italian. He was a character. And
why was it named Odie's?
I don't know. I don't know if he opened it or if it. I have no idea.
Could have been his
I don't know
friend,
the history of it.
Yeah.
So he might have bought it, or
It was
he
an associate that he owed money to.
Yeah.
So there was an associate that owed him money.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then gave him Odie's probably.
Has it been announced who's playing or who's headlining the 4th of July Fest?
Only the 2 opening acts.
Who's that?
The headliners have not been. They're no one I've ever heard of.
Dublin announced theirs.
Who's that?
Heart.
Heart.
Nice. The 80s
Like the
band.
old band Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yep.
Nah, that's not.
He's going to do.
I like.
Do you ever go to this one right here?
I like.
yeah.
I like what they've been doing here in Hilliard.
Frankie
better.
Ballard was last year.
Yeah, it's No, it was
2 years ago.
Oh, was that 2 years ago?
Dylan Scott was last year.
Yeah, which is another good one.
Yeah.
He was. Dylan Scott was here the week before one of his songs hit #1 on the chart.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So like that was huge. Everyone else was kind of on their way down, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so that was the only one that was on their way up. I'm hoping they get someone that's coming through. Like, I'm not gonna say
it's
Morgan Wallen.
It's always packed in a good way, like not in like an uncomfortable, but like it's a busy event.
It is.
It's just spread out really well. There's a lot of real estate.
Where they put the stage, it faces the right direction. And then there's that. If you really want to be way off in the distance, there's the hill over there you could sit up on and just relax.
Camp out.
Yeah. We sat right beside the trash cans last year, so no one wanted to be there. So we just put our. So that was actually kind of nice. But yeah, they haven't announced it yet. We'll see. We just looked yesterday actually, because I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
And we're pretty confident that at least the first floor will be done by then.
Yeah.
So we should be able to host.
By the way,
don't make fucking plans for that.
I don't think I'm leaving
Don't start
town.
your shit.
No, I don't know if I'm out of town. I don't think I am.
Oh, you can go out of town for that. You just can't go out of town for the Bourbon Hunters trip.
What the hell?
Hey,
oh, cool.
Speaking of that, I hope the flight of the stairs is pretty fucking strong, because that's a lot of weight for those flooring cases.
Don't fucking jinx my shit.
I'm trying to help you out, but
that seemed like a 13th floor kind of.
Well, I did my floor, and I just knew how heavy those were, and dude's got like fucking what feels like 40 boxes in there. I'm like,
flooring.
29.
I'd put
29.
those somewhere else.
Where do you want me to put them?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought as well. I was like, there.
If you bend over, I can put them there.
Bend over, I'll show you.
So.
Griswold, where'd you get a tree that big?
Yeah.
He's like, where do you plan on putting a tree that big?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Bend over and I'll show you. You got a lot of nerve talking to me like that. I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah,
what a fucking amazing movie.
Small movie theater downtown Grandview. They do these
Love that
showing.
one.
Yeah, I went to mine for the first time last year, and they did the National Lampoon's Christmas one. It was
Did
great.
I tell you?
They do the beer tastings, and you're sitting there watching the show.
Cool.
Right before I think it was the Christmas before the pandemic. So it was 21. They had down at one of the theaters downtown, might have been the Ohio Theater. They had a showing of a Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation, not a Christmas. And Chevy Chase was there for a Q&A. And so we went down there and watched it. It was pretty cool.
His love, Beverly D'Angelo,
She called while he was on stage.
Yeah.
He put her on speakerphone.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and she forgot, or it was either that or it was just staged. But she forgot he was on stage at the time. She was calling to ask if he wanted to come up and have dinner with her. It was pretty funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's from Upper Arlington.
Yeah.
Westerville, I thought.
Oh, was it? Well, okay.
I think Westerville.
But Columbus.
She lives in Westerville now, I believe. She might have grown up in Upper Arlington.
I think she grew up in UA, but I could be wrong.
I think she lived in
Ohio
Westerville
State,
now.
right?
I don't know about that.
I think I looked it up. She went to Ohio State.
I think she was in the same class as...
Oh, you looked her up, huh? Did you swipe right?
Well, after dude told the story, I was like,
I think she was in the same class as Jeffrey Dahmer, who went to Ohio State. All right, second one of the
I fucking
F4s.
love this.
I like the second one a lot.
Yeah.
Have you had the second one?
Yeah.
When is this happening? I don't think
I did either.
I think
you're still in the first one.
I just poured it in the same glass.
Okay.
Jesus. This guy.
It's fucking
Can't keep track of
good.
him.
I know. And I know the second F4 is very good.
Have you smelled it? What do you get on the nose?
F4.
I get a lot more sweetness on the nose.
It's just a lot more bold.
My nose is blasted at like...
It's sweeter on the nose?
Yeah, this one's sweeter.
For sure on the nose. Oh, God.
The other one was
And that
Yeah.
second
very
one better.
cherry forward.
Yeah.
A lot more complexity. There's a nice
The
finish.
proof is there
It's
in
the
a
same as
great
all the
way.
others.
No, the proof shows in a great way.
I'm fucking with you.
Douche.
This one has
viscous.
a
Look at the
great,
glass.
great
Yeah.
finish.
And that's probably what it
finish.
is for me, is the viscosity on it.
The finish is outstanding too. It sticks with you for a minute. The other one kind of died away. This one actually
Slow
really
burns,
sticks with
simmers.
you. Nice little Kentucky hug, if you will, or what do you call it?
Oh, the dragon.
Yeah, dragon breath or something.
Dragon breath.
Or-
Yeah.
How far away are we from our Top Golf episode?
Oh man.
Well, I have a Top Golf gift card that Brylan got me for Christmas. So
Should get us a couple of drinks.
well, it should get us maybe a half a reservation.
Yeah.
I think it's a $100 gift card.
Nice.
Don't go on the weekend.
Yeah.
We'll go
Go on a
like
Tuesday
when
night?
we'll just podcast there. The thing I thought about was, do you think it'd be too loud?
No, this does a really good job of blocking out the weed and blocking out the neighbors.
Yeah. So that'll be good. How far off do you think we are?
I don't know. Let me see. Listen, my life is finally just kind of, I hope anyway, maybe settling down after this between my dad and Banks and in a month's time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. And then my house, and it's been a. You know how everyone had a shitty year during COVID? I had an amazing year during COVID. It's all coming back to roost right now.
Well, they say it happens in threes, and you had 3, so you should be done.
Well, I hope so. I hope that's. I hope it's not deaths in 3. I hope it's just bad events.
Just bad things,
Because I've had 3 bad events in 5 months.
So I would say your 3 are done.
Hope so.
It's been 5 months since your basement?
It was
Christmas
Eve.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Right?
Yeah.
Insurance is a bitch.
Dude, I would be like, why isn't this done?
Well, it didn't even get started because of the insurance. I wasn't going to start on a quote that was $25,000 when my insurance only paid out $17,000.
Remember, they were dicking me around too.
Yeah. Did you get your shit figured out?
Yeah.
I think yours is all done now, right?
It's done.
Yeah,
nice.
That's good. Yeah. I mean,
Was your damage as much as this?
No, it wasn't nearly as bad as his.
Yeah.
Because yours was with the washer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
Did they end up putting a flood pan in there when they fixed it?
I did it myself.
Did you? Good. That's smart.
I don't blame you.
So this one, I think this one right now is my favorite.
It's
Maybe
fantastic.
the first one might be right there with it, but the first one is really good. The second one was really good too, but it was different.
These Ks are all very good, all of them. The Ks have always been.
Are you?
Oh, that's not even.
K?
Hey,
not yet. No, these are the 2 Fs.
that's not even
what these
close.
What?
4 is better than 1.
Oh, the fourth.
I just read. Yeah.
I was like, they're all 4th floor, man. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Mash and Journey, look at the birdie.
Yeah, that was.
It's phenomenal, but 4 is numero uno for me right now.
That was.
Was
good.
there a fucking gnat in the?
I hope so.
There
a little protein.
It's a little texture.
Yeah, at least he got drunk.
You will eat the bugs and you will enjoy it.
He died a happy gnat.
Well, there he is.
There he is. Need a toothpick?
Mm-mm.
Did he get caught in the mustache filter?
Mm-mm.
A little peppery taste?
Sorry.
Is that pepper?
I usually don't spit, Tyler.
He knows. Tyler knows.
Yeah.
That's why I looked at him.
Tyler had a sly look on his face, too, like, oh, I know, sir.
Let's do number...
I know, sailor.
Number 5?
All right. So... we are now moving on to the last 3, which are all Ks, K4s. And they're all actually bottled. They were all bottled pretty close to each other for the most part, which is pretty interesting in my opinion.
Were they barreled close together, though?
So, 2012, 2012, 2012. So, yes. 1226, 1226... where's that a 5? They were all barreled on on the same day.
Yeah, 12, 26, 12.
They're all barreled on the same day.
And
what?
But they're all different barrels. They were all barreled on the same day.
I mean, there must have been a good season. Just
You
the
think
way
is it the same actual batch, different barrel, but same batch?
I don't know. How the fuck do I know that?
You would have to think so.
If it was the same
but
day.
if it's a column still, there's no real like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's still pretty.
That's kind of
crazy
cool.
that we have 3
But
3 different
what's
barrel picks.
interesting is they were released. This was from our trip to the
Bourbon trip,
Bourbon Trail. This is the Wild Turkey Visitor Center that we got on our
Yeah.
trip. This one I just received last week while I was in Vegas. Or no, it actually came when I.
Is that the Bourbon Enthusiast?
Yeah. And this one's Bourbon Enthusiast too.
Okay.
But that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's fucking nuts.
I got to text James and tell him. Do you know that those 2 were barreled on the exact same day? That's nuts.
Send him a picture of that.
No thanks.
Okay.
All right, let's pour.
So while you're pouring, unless
shit.
I missed it,
Oh.
no, we need more pilot talk. We need more questions for the pilot.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, a little
So
insider hack
hold on.
Yeah.
Here. So tell me this. All right. Went to Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got to hear about this. I haven't seen
American.
that. Okay.
American.
Oh.
And,
He's really buttering me up
So
here to this.
So my flight out, amazing, no problems, all on time. Actually arrived early on all of them.
Good. Okay.
My wife left on Tuesday night. She was supposed to leave Monday night. we moved it back a day, so she could hang out and have her own little day for herself on Wednesday or Tuesday. So she leaves Tuesday night, overnight flight. I'm scheduled for the exact same flight on Thursday, so that same flight number basically.
Okay,
but 2 days later.
Okay.
And so I get to the airport a little early, and I go to a club. I go what the Vegas one is called. I think it's called The Club. He hasn't had it yet.
Okay, there we go.
I think it's called The Club.
Did you pour some, Brett?
I did, yeah,
Nice.
right here.
So I'm going to take these
heavier than
two,
I
and I'm
want.
going to pour them into my infinity bottle to finish them off.
It's a good call.
Give me that cap by your...
Grab me it.
So I get there a little early. My flight's at 10:04 or something like that. Okay. And 10:04 happens. We haven't even started boarding yet. And then they finally decide, hey, we're going to let you know what's going on. They're like, hey, we have... It's like 10:10. We haven't started boarding.
Yeah.
Hey, we're down a flight attendant, is what they tell us.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's an overnight flight. We don't give a shit if you have a fully stocked flight attendant. Let's just go. You know,
Yeah,
we
right.
honestly don't. Just
Right,
tell
we got
everyone,
places to
hey,
go.
just tell everyone, hey, there's going to be no in-flight service on this
That's how you do your
flight.
seatbelts. We can figure it out. Let's just go.
Like, honestly, is there like some sort of
There has to be a
regulation that you have to have a
safety rule.
minimum number?
There is. Yep.
I still, but one less, you think that would make the difference?
If there's a
an
crash,
effort.
it's like
That's
getting people out and stuff.
Yeah,
If there's
It's like
a crash, that's
safety.
what the exit row people are for. Call them into action.
I know, but
it's
still.
almost like,
labor.
I mean, if there's
You're
a
not
crash,
paying
you're all
them
fucked.
but it's honestly, yeah, if there's a crash, you're probably not going to hit the water. You're going to hit a mountain.
Yeah.
Coming out of Vegas? Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, honestly, like, it sucked because, so all they did was delay it. They delayed it. They delayed it. They delayed it. They didn't cancel it till 1 a.m.
They
What
did
time was your-
eventually cancel it?
At 1 a.m.
That's shitty.
So tell me this. How dumb are people, like, and I don't want to be, like, mean, because I travel a lot, but how dumb, they all go and get in the customer service line. I just jumped on my app, and it automatically routes me to, hey, let us find you a better flight. So I immediately got booked for the 5 a.m. flight. So it's 1 a.m. I'm not going anywhere because
Why the amount of time it would take you to get anywhere, you'd be on your way back.
Well, and here's the thing. So some of the people that tried to pick later dates or later times in the day on purpose so that they could go back to a hotel and rest, the only hotels that were available, because it was a Thursday and now people are coming in,
For the weekend.
were an
Right.
hour away.
All of Vegas? Or is it just what they're willing to pay for it?
Well,
Well, that
maybe.
too.
But I looked on hotels.com. There was nothing.
Was there a big festival?
Like,
or
you
something
couldn't say at
going
the
on?
Aria.
There
always
probably
something.
was.
Like, you couldn't say at the
Always
Aria?
No, man. Everything was booked. I looked everywhere. I looked on hotels.com. I looked on
Shit,
Marriott. I
even the
looked on,
crappy Excalibur was sold out?
Oh, I hate that
but
place.
so
It's so
And the
dingy.
Luxor, it sucks
Yeah.
too.
I used to love the Luxor, by the way.
Back in the day,
the
it
outside
was-
of it's cool.
10
but
years ago, I
the
did a
inside of
bachelor
it's
party
kind of
there.
just like, this is the
never been
least
updated.
efficient.
I love this because
least
I've
efficient
been
hotel
there
ever.
twice and I never really got to experience it either time.
So they cancel it at 1 a.m. I immediately get on the app, get a 5 a.m. flight, but I'm stuck in between two fucking guys. So because it's a late ad, I'm a middle seat.
Oh,
guys.
that's all I was like, oh.
I'm a middle seat. I'm like, fuck me.
I always
Damn
just
it.
lean forward and it sucks. So I'm just
No,
like,
you know what I do is because I get to board
yeah.
early, I take both armrests
Exactly.
immediately. And then when people
Claim
come
your
in,
land.
when people come to sit, I don't get out of my seat. They climb over.
Oh, you're gonna
I'm like,
come climb
come on
over?
in, because I'm not giving up my fucking armrest. I
Yeah.
don't do it. Because if I'm ever stuck in a middle seat, I'm not a small
that's
guy.
etiquette that I wish was
Yeah,
more
well,
known.
when you're in the-
if you're in the middle
and-
seat,
and
those
both
are
your-
yours.
Give them. They should
Right.
be.
Windows
they should
got
be. That's
their
an
own little
unspoken
bubble.
rule.
Yeah,
It's an unspoken
exactly.
right. Yeah,
Especially
Aisles got there.
Dude,
window you
especially
can
in
lean
the
against the window.
aisle, you should
Aisle,
like.
you can stretch out and put your feet out until the cart comes by. You can put your
Yes.
feet out.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Uh-huh.
The middle seat gets both.
It is. It should be. It should
Exactly.
be,
It should be
an
an
absolute.
it's an
I wish it was
unspoken
more
rule.
well known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I make it well known because I don't fucking give
You're
them
not-
up.
You're right.
So
yeah,
to
good.
your
And
to your
fucking
point-
move me.
your point about people getting customer service, I will say, in my travels so far, I've only had one instance where it's like fucked me traveling, and I will say, what the app wanted to automatically reroute me to
The
was
app gave
not
me all
better.
the choices. I could choose myself.
I did not, and potentially that was the opportunity where I could have went and finagled. But what I did is I went on I Googled flights, and I saw the different flight schedule, and that is not where they wanted to send me. And then I went up and I said, look, you have these flights. I want to be on there. And they're like, okay, we can do that. And that's not where the app wanted me to go.
Wow.
The app was like, you're fucked. We can fly you out at noon the next day. And I'm like, why? I can go. Well, you have a flight at 11 o'clock.
No problem.
It's because he stays at Hilton's.
Yeah, right. That's why the app tells you that you have shitty options.
But
I had good options. But I'm also platinum on American, which isn't huge, but it's up there.
There's Warehouse K.
Oh, I'm an executive platinum or whatever it is. Okay. I'm the third tier up. Is this good?
Warehouse Ks are always my favorite, man. That's always.
Ooh.
See? Warehouse Ks, man.
That's why we saved it for last.
I will never turn down a fucking Warehouse K ever.
I don't know what that is. By river or something?
I don't know. I don't know if like
marshland.
Jimmy jerks off on the barrels in there. I don't know.
No, I think the roof was ripped off by a tornado.
I don't know what it is.
The roof was definitely not on fire in this one.
The Warehouse Ks are just unbelievable.
That is outstanding. It has so much sweetness to it. It's not a crazy
caramel.
finish,
There's
the
viscosity.
Caramel, I was about to say caramel. There's viscosity.
Oh my god,
it's so good.
And just the richness of
it's
of the
rich.
flavor.
It's a fucking dessert bourbon.
It's richness. Yeah.
Like I want to have this with a piece of cheesecake.
Fuck cheesecake.
Pecan pie.
What? I said fuck cheesecake.
Cheesecake has a nice, especially when you're pairing it with bourbon.
Turtle cheesecake. All the rest of it.
Holy shit. So let me tell you this.
Carrot cake cheesecake.
Because I just said fuck like 3 times.
That's good.
So counting the one I just said right there.
Yeah.
So my dad served on the Marietta Memorial Hospital Foundation. I don't know what the actual name was for it. I don't remember. So the president of that foundation walks up to me at the receiving line of the visiting hours, and he goes, "Hey," he's like, "I listened to your podcast."
Oh no!
And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he goes, "No, I really enjoy it." And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, I said, "Yeah, my dad's not a big fan of it." And he goes, No, your dad liked it. He just wished you didn't curse as much." And that's what he always told me too. He's like, "I just wish you wouldn't curse so much." And so I guess he told him that too. But I guess he had listened to it before my dad had even mentioned it. He didn't know.
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I mean, he may have known that I was his son. I don't know.
Sure.
But he was listening to it before, and it just was like a happy accident.
Well, how many people are named Dude in this world? Like,
well, that's
one out of
true. That's
350 million. Fair. So.
350 million. That's probably accurate. But no, I just thought it was interesting. There were a few people that came up to me and said they'd listen to my podcast during the thing, and I just thought that was.
Were they like, who's that Tyler guy?
Our podcast. I apologize.
We thought the numbers was all bots.
Yeah, we found the 3 guys.
Yeah.
We found all 3 of them this
weekend.
Shout out to Dublin Methodist Hospital, the radiology department there, because she was actually listening to it the other day. She was texting me asking, like, what's the name of that podcast? And they went back and listened to a few. Yeah.
I noticed.
It's growing.
Because we didn't actually do anything last week, our numbers were still actually kind of elevated. And I noticed today we had like 240 downloads. I'm like, we didn't release anything today.
Yeah.
And usually the big days are the day we release, and that's like 500-600,
Yeah.
And then the day before we release is always a big day for whatever reason, even though we don't release something.
Interesting.
And then like Mondays are always a big day too. Now today's Tuesday, and it's like this week's Monday because of Memorial, so maybe that's why.
Maybe.
But like, we haven't had big days like this. We have over 100 every day, and. But that's usually when we're releasing week to week.
Yeah.
So like the fact that we had 200 and some today, 2 weeks after our release, like it just surprised me. That's all. But then I clicked on the stats, and it was all like 2s down the line, meaning a whole bunch of people or a couple people probably just subscribed today, and then their thing went and downloaded them all.
That's cool.
It is cool because it kept us going even when we didn't have an episode come out.
Yeah.
So
there's so when we were at Stories on High, like
fuck, that's good. I'm sorry.
Jillian, like I'm sitting there talking to one of the bartenders, and Jillian's like, "Yeah, he's got a podcast." I was like, "God, please don't listen to it.
Please don't listen."
Why? You know what's funny is I was embarrassed about it when people would tell me they listened to it and I met them in person. But the more and more I think about it, we're not a serious podcast. We don't pretend to be. We talk about bourbon, but we talk about our lives, and I think that's what people listen for. I could be wrong. Hey, send us a message if you're listening. why do you listen? I mean, seriously, why do you listen?
That doofus.
I mean, we do talk about the bourbon, and people do, I think, say, hey, I've tried some things. I've gotten some messages. People have tried some things. But I got a message the other day on Instagram that said, hey, I've started reading this book because you guys talked about it. What was the other one you were talking about? And it was Bourbon Justice.
Yeah.
So they had read Pappyland because we talked about it a lot. And now I pointed them to Bourbon Justice because I talk about that all the time.
Oh.
And
so did they? And then after they followed up with Mein Kampf.
you idiots!
I thought he was going to say
there was an episode where these two fucking idiots talked about Mein Kampf, and so
we didn't talk about it in a good way.
No. You weren't you weren't recommending it.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, 5 stars, highly recommended.
I think that's a banned book.
Yeah, is it really?
I think it's on the list of banned books.
Is it? But yeah, you weren't recommending it.
There were book club.
We should start a book club and read Mein Kampf every month.
every second book.
Passage out of Mein Kampf.
No, but honestly, I just when I see that kind of stuff, it kind of
after Pappy Land Mein Kampf.
I think
Make sure you read that one.
I think I realize now that people probably listen to this for the entertainment value. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're getting to know people. Us, and you're hearing what's happening in our lives. Whether you like it or not, we've sucked you in, and you want to know what's happening in our lives.
It was funny. Jillian and I were talking a little bit about it on our walk to our 40-foot walk to dinner, and I was like, because I was talking to the bartender, and not that he didn't know anything about bourbon, but like I would say, I probably know more than most of the world, but if anyone knows anything about bourbon, you probably know more than I do.
Right.
And she was like, "You know more than dude," and I was like, "No, I don't care that much." I was like,
"I don't care that.
I don't care that much." I was like, "I know enough, but people know vastly more than I do."
You know what's funny? You say that,
and that's why I asked the dumb questions.
So that you're asking for the audience.
I'm asking for the audience.
I appreciate that, man.
Man for the people.
Man for the people. One of my childhood friends growing up was at the funeral this weekend. They were at our house. They did a whole bunch for us. They really helped us out. Like while we were at the showing, they went back early, started heating up food for us.
Did Matt go at all? Like I didn't know Matt Schmidt.
No, he didn't actually, but he did reach out to me. So that was nice. It was interesting. People I had not seen in 30 years, which is
last time you banged.
Well, last time I was 18, 30 years ago. Like I had people come to the funeral that I hadn't seen in 30 years. I had people reach out to me that I hadn't seen in 30 years. Just surprising people that
Sometimes that makes me want to reach out to someone that I haven't. Just like because I don't want that to be the reason to reach out to someone. Sometimes I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know what? I should reach out to so-and-so.
I don't think about it in a bad way. I think about it in a way that was like, that makes me feel good that my dad meant enough to you that you felt like you needed to, or maybe my friendship with you meant enough to you that you knew that was probably going to be rough for me or whatever.
The impression.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was nice. I don't care how long it's been. If you reached out to me during that, then that meant a lot to me. And there were people reaching out to me on Monday night before I didn't post anything about it till like Wednesday. But someone else had tagged me in a post from my hometown saying, hey, just found out that, Dude Pool's father passed, put him in your prayers and all that stuff. And I started
It's a pretty small town.
It is. I mean, there's 6,000 people, plus there's a suburb next door. You can think of Belpre as the suburb of Parkersburg, basically. And so probably 30 to 40,000 people if you think about it. And, it was just nice to get messages from people I hadn't heard from in a long time. It was really nice. And then friends I hadn't seen in a while that were at the showing that surprised me being there. It was nice. Where were we at, though, before that happened?
I don't know. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Maybe people just reaching out about the podcast. And
that's what it was, about the podcast.
We had segued a little bit ahead.
Good save. Good save, Chris.
At least someone's paying attention.
Yeah.
Someone's still sober. Drink up, Chris. No, I think... I really do think that people listen to this because it's just entertaining. I don't know that they're really coming here for their bourbon information.
No,
we're not giving, updates on news. We're not giving anything like that. We're talking about barrel picks that they probably can't even get.
Yep.
a lot of times. And anyway,
yeah.
Let's go to the next one. This one was outstanding, by the way.
I know. This is
Is this the second K?
I was the first K.
Okay. I just finished the first
All
one.
the Ks that I've ever had are just unbelievable.
Well, you're about to love this one, too, I think.
That's the one that
you have.
I just got.
Unpopular opinion, that K, for me, ranked at a solid number 3.
That's fair.
Whereas 1 and 4 were 1 and 2.
Yeah. No, and
for me.
1 was good, and 4 was good.
It's all valid.
That's okay.
You know what I mean?
Everyone has their own flavor profiles.
God.
And Tyler
damn
just
these
doesn't give a
gnats.
shit enough.
It's probably your beard, man. They're wanting to take a little ride on the beard.
I need to clean up my beard. It just whatever.
Chris, have you talked about your most recent?
That was water.
It better be.
Right.
Pilot passing?
Pilot passing? What did
Pilot
die?
testing passing.
Testing passing.
Training?
No.
Did he talk about that?
Did he talk about
Did he
that?
pass his most recent training? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
In
certification.
Something
is
other
it
than
is it
English?
an actual certification?
Yeah. There's 2 phases to it.
He's certifiable now.
I'm certifiable. Yep.
And so that allows you to go fully international,
crazy.
right?
Full crazy. Yep. I can go down
So
and
you can
go
do international now.
I can
Cool.
go international. I can go to Hawaii.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
Did you say Hawaii?
I did.
That's not international.
What?
Wait.
Is that where you? So recently, that's where you went. You went to Hawaii.
No, I haven't
No.
been really.
For fuck's sake,
much
Tyler,
yet.
keep up.
Okay.
Keep up.
We went to Calgary, Canada.
Nice.
Calgary's nice. I flew to Calgary last year.
That's smoky. There's a bunch of wildfires going on there right
On
now.
those long
That's
transatlantic
technically
flights.
international.
Yeah.
Calgary.
Right.
Those long flights. How
Free
many?
healthcare.
How many pilots are in the cockpit?
That sucks.
There's no longer an engineer, like whatever they.
Oh,
would,
that was a long time ago.
Okay.
That stopped back.
What
early
stopped?
80s.
Engineer?
There was a flight engineer up there.
Really? And like a 747, there's only 2 people still.
Mm-hmm.
Autopilot, baby.
Hey,
Right. GPS.
what's your vector, Victor?
Well, your
Roger,
clearance?
Roger.
Or I would say clearance.
Whenever we see something on clearance at a store, I always say that
Yeah,
to Trina.
airplane. Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy giggled like a little schoolgirl the first time he watched Airplane. He watched it with us.
Yeah.
Oh,
We,
it's great,
we
yeah.
ordered the Pearl, did a podcast, and sat down to watch Airplane because he'd never seen
Just
it.
a couple years ago.
And it was hilarious. This guy was just giggling. It was so funny. He'd never seen it.
This debate came up in my life the other day, and I didn't have a strong opinion because I didn't know. Is it?
It was about mortgages.
Refinance.
Refinance. Here we go. Dave Ramsey
So-
talk.
Is it absolutely necessary to put your phone in autopilot?
You mean
In this day
airplane
and
mode?
age? Airplane mode. Sorry.
I can swipe right on my own.
So-
I don't have to have any input.
Put your phone
out
in
the
autopilot.
Airplane mode.
I mean, why not? I mean, you're not going to get service.
Yeah.
You're going to be above the
It's gonna-
towers. They don't.
Well,
yeah, your
can't
battery's
you
just gonna,
technically
like, smash.
still get
you
service,
get
but
a
your
little bit of service, yes, but
your
it's
phone
very
can't
sketchy.
connect fast enough for help.
Yeah, you're
Cell phones-
moving between towers so fast
Yeah.
that you're not really getting any service.
Yeah.
If it can even reach. I mean, they're not.
Depending on how high you are.
If you,
Yeah.
if I've accidentally left my phone on in
Who
a plane, no, but I mean
Yeah.
honestly, I normally try to put mine in airplane mode, but I've accidentally left it on before, and it still says you have a signal,
You don't.
but you're
Yeah.
not going to connect for data or anything
Yeah.
like that. You might get a text.
I feel like it kills
Quickly.
your battery.
It's slotty. Yeah, it's
'Cause
slotty.
just-
It
it's
kills your
searching.
battery.
Because
It's
it's always
constantly
searching.
searching.
It's always searching, yeah. But you might get a text because those are quick,
Yeah.
but you're not going to be able to like render a web page.
Sure.
And you might get a quick phone call too, but you're not going to keep it, generally speaking.
You know what I hate is that American doesn't do free texting. Fucking pisses me off.
Does someone else?
It does.
I thought Delta does when you get
don't
on, you
think-
can say text.
Is it like one of those like cruise ship things where it's only the people on the plane?
iMessage? Because
No, you can still text. There's an airline
if you have
that.
T-Mobile, you get that.
Well, I
for
can
free.
text. I forget what airline it is that I can still text. It might be Delta. That's free texting.
I know that when
Yeah.
you're on American, you can join their Wi-Fi, not pay for it, and get all of their services through their app.
Yes,
Which
yes,
is
I know
nice.
that.
So like you can still stream.
Yeah.
You can get like
I want to say
Apple
it's
Music and
Delta,
stuff like that.
Delta or
Yeah.
United that I thought that had free texting.
Other warehouse kids.
What do you
Without
need
paying-
to fucking text
Well,
on a
I don't
plane
know.
for? Like fucking be in the moment. Watch the
What do you mean,
fucking
be
movie.
in the-
Be
be in the
disconnected.
moment?
I mean, be fucking disconnected.
You know, that's the best part of camping or go out on the wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Unplug.
disconnected. Yeah, you're unplugged. That's a good way
like,
to
why do
put
you
it.
need to fucking get text while you're on a plane? Who gives a shit?
Nancy.
You know what? They'll still be there when you land.
Read a book.
I mean, if it's our conversation, I might be 50 text messages past.
Yes, and guess what? That'll give you something to do for the next 20 minutes in your cab ride from the airplane, from the airport to wherever you're going. Right?
Catch up time.
I don't ever catch up on our texts. I'm just like,
I'll
get caught up.
I wouldn't either.
Too long, didn't read.
Didn't read.
Yeah. Did you guys get my messages about you guys hadn't answered. Brett was the only one who said, yeah, I'll be available on Tuesday. No one else. It was like crickets. So I just started sending gift after gift after gift after gift.
I love it.
I don't think he still ever responded.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he did when he said he was going to kiss.
But I didn't even realize that I missed something. That's rare for me. It's rare for me.
He was on a plane that wasn't Delta.
yeah.
Second Warehouse K, not as good.
Oh, yeah?
Not as good.
Sorry, I'm not trying to push you along.
No. You're right, though. It's 8:39. we gotta wrap this up soon. We started after your 20-minute fucking tomato conversation.
Got to wrap it up like.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, thanks for saving.
Post vasectomy.
Yeah, I like a good Roma tomato.
It doesn't smell as good either.
By the way, dude, did you get a vasectomy?
Mm-hmm.
You already talked about this. Remember,
I got a vasectomy
because he got his prostate checked in the same time.
17 years ago. And and the fucking guy told me that he had to check my prostate while my wife's in the room. I've been over the fucking table. My wife's staring me in the eyes, making eye contact with me while the guy entered me from behind.
We haven't got a
with his
fingers. Let's just be clear. With his, I hope.
I'm 2 weeks removed.
Hands on his shoulders.
It's like the loving look the dog gives you as he's taking a shit.
Now that I think about it, I do remember 2 hands on each hip. One on each hip.
Your hips just don't lie. But
yes,
we haven't been here to talk about it. I'm 2 weeks removed from it.
So here's the thing. They tell you what, like 30 evacuations before you
15.
15? Okay.
But it's not that. It's 15. It's
I always
15
do everything at 200%.
in 3 months.
I always No. It was whichever happens first. It was like a fucking warranty. That's what they told me. So I was there 2 days later. I was like, here you go. Test it out.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's 30. I was like, I know. Here, test it out.
31 just to be safe.
This is number 33.
He's like, how did you get this out of there?
He's like, I said, this is number 33. 31 and 32 are in my wife's stomach. Oh shit! Sorry, Mr. Marietta Memorial. Although it was medical. It was all medical research. It was all medical research.
That's the zinger people tune in for.
Well, I didn't know if there was a way to get someone pregnant the other direction, so I was just testing.
Can they swim?
Scientifically proven now.
Can they get there the other way?
We just passed the tonsils.
Yeah.
But what a uncomfortable couple days.
Well,
that's why
you were
all the
lucky
guys
in the fact that you did not have a very attractive nurse who was prepping you for surgery.
Yeah.
You do know the number of vasectomies during March Madness is like the greatest.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's what everyone does.
That is brilliant. I never thought of that.
You really?
No.
You get all that time off.
The number of
God. And you just schedule it for a Thursday morning?
Yes. And it's insane the number of vasectomies around March Madness.
Brilliant.
That's 100% true.
I failed. I failed as a man.
Yeah.
I failed as a man.
The other good one would have been around the Masters.
Yeah.
I'm not a golf person. I would have done March Madness.
Dude, I could have sat there and watched golf all day.
I can't watch it on TV. But
I mean, basketball would have been better.
It sells TVs.
I can.
I worked at H.H. Gregg in college, and that was one of the things.
H.H. Gregg, formerly
H.H. Gregg.
Formerly Sun TV or whatever it was.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sun TV was the best.
We had both of those. I guess I didn't realize.
I've never heard of either.
Sun TV started out of Columbus. And I remember when
some of those concrete half moon.
Oh yeah, no, I remember, and we had it in Chillicothe.
I think it's still called the Sun Center on 161 in Sawmill, right?
Oh, on the east side, yeah. Oh no, we had 161 Sawmill. Yeah,
I think that's still called the Sun Center because there was a Sun TV there where that REI place is. That used to be a Sun TV.
That was where I worked.
The H.H. Gregg when it became H.H. Gregg. Mm-hmm. So I remember we would travel 2 hours up to Columbus to go to Sun TV whenever we needed like good electronics.
Yeah, we had one in Chillicothe
because they always there. You could actually negotiate.
Right, you could haggle their prices.
I would haggle all the time. Mm-hmm. I haggled every TV I bought from there.
You're a haggler.
I haggle. I am.
And as long as you throw
if it's haggleable,
right?
I'm a haggler.
Nothing wrong with that.
Let me finish this one.
Yeah, sorry. I got to go soon.
Usually would work with you pretty good, too, as long as you threw in accessories or some sort of warranty.
Yeah. You know. Or monster cables.
You know what? Yeah, I feel another place.
That was the thing. That was the
I don't
gimmick.
know this for a fact, but I feel like another place that would accept haggling is Big Sandy Superstore.
We had a Big Sandy as well.
Yeah.
Remember waterbeds and stuff? Does that still exist?
Yeah.
Yes, it's still around.
Yeah, but it's mostly
like
fucking
beds and
dildos.
stuff now.
It's mostly sex.
It's mostly dildos
yeah.
and a waterbed, probably with a
and like water,
happens.
like bongs and
It's
shit.
one waterbed and lots of stuffs.
Yeah.
Dude
They
walked
changed-
in and he's just like, I'm here for the gang.
They took the S off of waterbeds and added it to stuff.
Waterbed
It's waterbed and stuffs.
stuff.
Yeah, back in the day, they had great
Stuffs.
birthday cards. You could go in there and find like these like
Yes.
birthday cards with these
It was
like,
like
really
the- it
fat
was like
naked
a
ladies
real-
on
What's
them.
the-
It was like
what was
what
the
you
mall
expected
version of this?
Spencer's.
Spencer's,
It's what you
yes.
expected
Do they
Spencer's
still
to be.
sell salvia out of those?
I don't
I don't
know.
know if
wouldn't be
anybody ever
surprised.
I know.
that.
I remember salvia, but I don't know if they
That
sell
was a
that
big
shit.
fad. It's gone now.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
it was like a
It's
weed
like watered down
alternative.
version
like-
of weed.
Yeah, it was like a lab manufactured weed that,
Have you guys ever heard of Hayo?
no.
It is a new non-alcoholic drink that is supposed to be giving you like an elevated high.
Like a euphoria thing. right?
Yeah, that's not alcohol based, and it's for people who don't drink alcohol but want to maybe have some fun.
It's like CBD based.
No, it's there's some mushrooms. There's some. It's a Chinese root of some
But
sort.
don't you typically not drink alcohol because you don't like the...
Want to feel out of control?
Yeah, or
Well,
like
I don't
you
know
have
that it-
one side of it that is like the actual addiction side of it. Then you have the other side of it that's like you don't like the after effects of a hangover or whatever.
Or you just don't like
Yeah.
being in control of your
whatever. But like if you wouldn't drink
I
it
don't
for an
think that
addiction,
this gives
then
you that. I think this gives you more of an elevated. Look it up, Hayo, while you're on your phone, since you're fucking
Hayo.
getting it done.
H-I-Y-O?
I think so, Hayo. But it's a drink, and then tell me what's in it, because there's a Chinese root or something in it, and then there's like some mushrooms, and it gives a good explanation as to why you feel whatever you feel, and it tells you like 1 drink gives you this, 2 drinks give you this, 3 drinks gives you this, and it's
I hate these fucking ad things that pop up.
Oh, the
nootropics, functional, bionics.
they're like,
or
oh,
botanicals.
You said Hayo, you meant nootropics, right? Whatever.
Nootropics?
I don't know.
Nootropics?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just
Oh yeah,
spitballing.
botanicals elevate your mood, empower you to be true and happy.
Are you on Hayo yet?
Their website.
Okay, so read what's in it.
That's what I was just saying. It says
Some
the mindful
Chinese
social
root?
tonics. There's no ingredients yet here.
There is an ingredients list because I looked it up.
I'm sure it's under the frequently asked
There's a
questions.
hard to pronounce one that you probably know how to pronounce, and when I see it, I know how to pronounce it. But anyway,
adaptogens.
that's just the fancy word.
Yeah,
for
potent
it.
herbs and mushrooms help the body adapt to counteract harmful effects of stress, regulate cortisol levels.
Yeah, that's so. Anyway,
I'm
there's
trying to find like ingredients.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
Keep
vitamin
looking.
water for fun people.
But like that's a new thing, I guess.
Oh,
that-
interesting.
Yeah, I've never tried it. But it basically sounds like shrooms to me. I don't know.
Psilocybin.
Shrooms mixed with ecstasy. I don't know.
Yeah, psilocybin's legal in Oregon.
What is that?
Psilocybin is mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
no idea.
what?
Look at this fucking guy.
Right,
Look at
he
science.
travels
Mr.
well.
Science.
What
over
mush?
here.
Like you know how people like eat mushroom? They call them like caps, right? They eat mushrooms. That's psilocybin. Is the act of like hallucinogen.
active
Hallucinogen in it.
ingredient.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
hallucinogen.
active ingredient.
This just
sure.
reminded me of the Pacific Northwest.
Where is it
I
legal?
know that
Oregon.
And are they detectable by drug sniffing dogs?
I don't know the answer to that. To drug sniffing dogs, I don't know.
When's the last time you've seen one of those, by the way?
Do you know
it's been a long time.
Mr.
Hey,
Airport?
No,
I don't see 'em.
in
No, no.
Columbus Airport when I flew to Toronto.
Really?
Most
Yes,
most dogs are bomb sniffing dogs,
yes.
and they can't be multi-purpose. I learned you can't.
nuh-uh, really?
Yes,
Really?
I learned that
Yeah.
a dog
They
cannot
don't give a shit if you're bringing in drugs.
Pretty much, it's more bombs or explosives. Is a better word.
But yeah, so like the last
Well-
I've been into Columbus Airport twice. One of the 2 times in the last month, and one of those 2 times they had a whatever sniffing dog. It was probably bomb. So you went through
Can't
the
say
line.
bomb in an airport. Okay.
Bomb.
That's a good one.
So you went through the little maze, the rat maze, and
Yeah.
in one of the lines you go through, and they just have a dog walking back and forth as you walk
Yes.
through.
He's executive status with American. He can't afford TSA
I
pre-check.
have TSA pre-check now. On the way back from Toronto, I did my global pre-check or my
Ooh, the
global
global
entry
entry. Oh, worth
interview,
it. Great.
and now I've got TSA pre-check. I
Do you have
signed
Clear?
up for it 2 years ago. No, I don't have Clear. Fuck Clear.
Here we go.
I don't
I
even know
got
what
your
it is.
ingredients.
Clear's not everywhere. TSA pre-check is pretty
I
much
don't know what
everywhere.
Clear
Yeah,
is.
but I
Is
mean,
that a
most of your
privatized
credit
version?
card will pay for it.
I
Most
don't-
credit card.
Why do I need Clear if I have TSA pre-check?
Because there's sometimes where, like, if you're in Chicago, the TSA pre-check is still 60 people long. So Clear skips that.
Listen, if the TSA pre-check is 60 long, then that means the regular line is 1,000 long.
Yeah, but Clear still skips it.
I'm still fine.
And your credit card should pay for it.
But you know what? Clear is still going to have people in it.
Not always.
Always.
I found your
those people
list,
still have.
Read it off.
Ingredients like ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha, that's the one.
Lion's mane.
Lion's mane.
L-theanine.
It sounds like a fucking...
like a little lion's mane?
No, that's a root, like lion's mane.
Okay.
It's not like an actual lion's mane.
I was like, what the fuck?
There's somebody out there with scissors like snipping lion's mane.
How did Tyler get on this fucking podcast?
I would have let you take
You mean like they actually clipped the how do they hold him still?
Tranquilizers.
I thought they were just out here killing lions for drinks.
After they give a lion a haircut, they put it into this drink?
There's all these bald lions in Africa. Save the bald lions.
Fucking high-o.
So what is lion mane?
It's a root. I don't
all these
know.
lions walking around to the hyenas.
You know it was a...
Hey, at least you don't have to fucking be
I've heard
for
of lion's
high-o.
root, yeah. And then like cordyceps, ginger, and turmeric.
Turmeric, yeah. That's
there's a lot of like... People say
Turmeric's
like
a good
turmeric
one.
has a lot of good stuff, yeah.
Turmeric is only good if you take it with what?
Your prostate exam.
Pepper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it only...
Oh, lion's mane's a fungus. I lied.
So turmeric, if you don't take it with pepper, is not effective.
What?
So anytime you take turmeric, if you take it in your... If you take
pepper?
I thought it was a root. I was
I don't
wrong.
know.
It's a fungus.
Pepper?
A fungi.
I think it's black pepper. If you ever take turmeric as a supplement, you'll taste it as an aftertaste. You'll taste the pepper.
I've put it in like food before as like a like
turmeric,
a supplement.
Well, if you put in turmeric food-wise, you won't get the pepper.
Okay.
But if you take it as a supplement, it'll have the pepper in it because it's not effective without pepper for whatever reason. So when you take it, like I was taking turmeric, because turmeric is a natural anti-inflammatory. And it works great for like recovery and different things like that. And I was taking it for the longest time, and I probably should start taking it.
This has some
actually.
pepper in it. Speaking of that,
I have like this is the last one, right?
Yeah, this is the last one. There's a pepperiness to this. I don't dislike it, but it's not like burn. It's like legit pepper to me.
Yeah, it does.
There's like a pepper in this.
This is my first drink of it. It's this is good though.
It is.
It has a nice complexity, good viscosity, a nice spicy finish. Pepper, if you want.
That is the spiciest of them all.
Yeah.
I had this the other night. Trina and I were sitting downstairs watching some TV. Tonight's not Wednesday, is it?
Tuesday.
Tomorrow is the series finale of Ted Lasso.
Fuck. I've had poor things about season 3.
No, it's been great.
Season 2 is a fucking dump. Just so... Yes.
You are so wrong. First, you couldn't be any more wrong.
Season 1 was amazing.
You have just invalidated all of
halfway through,
all of
way too sappy, not enough comedy.
Listen,
cry.
I'm pretty sure that you've invalidated all of your opinions from this point backwards.
That's the general consensus of it.
No, it's not.
Yes, it absolutely is.
It has like a 9 rating on IMDb.
Yeah,
it is not the general consensus.
It absolutely is.
It is absolutely
It's way
not.
too sappy and cry.
No,
you're
wrong.
Season 1 comedy is the best. I haven't watched any of season 3.
It is.
I heard that it was.
Listen.
Just as dumb as season 2.
No, you're 100% wrong. 100% wrong.
Yeah.
It is one of the best.
Have you seen it?
It is probably my favorite show of all time, and it has been.
That's a tall.
It is
statement.
a tall statement, and it is the most feel-good show I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, it's way too sappy.
No, it's not sappy. You come
Is that
out
on
of
Apple
it.
TV?
It's Apple TV.
So
Apple Plus.
season 1, it was brilliant. Comedy is amazing.
So
then they
so
flipped
you've
the
watched
switch.
season 2 and 3?
Season 2.
So wait, you watched season 2 and 3? So you're speaking. You're
I
speaking
stopped
from
because
watching.
it was bad.
It was not.
It was bad. It
was
went
not
way
bad.
downhill.
I will give you my Apple Plus if you promise to binge it tomorrow. If you promise to binge it,
okay.
And you fucking come back to me and tell me that it's not good.
I'm gonna
it's
line those up.
It is
and just
fucking
binge
great. It is honestly probably one of my favorite shows of all
She's
time.
out of the house all day long. I could
there
pull
we
this
go.
off.
Listen, I'm not kidding. It is easily one of my. It's a top 5 show of all time for sure, if not my favorite.
Okay.
Honest to God. And he's 100% wrong.
Man,
and everyone I've talked to. So here's the thing. I know what he's talking about. I know what he thinks he's saying about season 3.
Damn.
And we can talk about this offline. And he's completely wrong. It borders on it, but it just touches it and doesn't do it. I know what he thinks. I know what he's saying, and he's wrong.
But you still
No, I know
you
what
still
he's,
can't justify season 2 then.
I can. Just season 2
It
was
was
great.
It was a sap fest. It went from being a comedy.
What was sappy
genius
about season 2? Tell me.
Everything had this just sappy, sad, happy.
No.
Every episode was a massive down.
So you're telling me the show's bad. You're telling me the show's bad because you felt all your emotions in it?
No, it wasn't all the
male self-reflectiveness there. Yeah.
It was it wasn't my emotional roller coaster.
Happy. You felt emotions. Mad. You felt happy.
The first season they didn't try to up and down on the not emotions, but it wasn't like this massive down sadness event to
were you
a
on your
massive
period when you watched it?
I think he must have been.
Feel good portion.
I haven't seen it.
Honest to God.
First season they didn't do that. It was just all comedy points.
In your face. Funny.
Yes.
And he's wrong. He's wrong about that too.
Just every
season 1 had sappiness too.
Is it like sarcasm, like awkward humor?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't awkward.
So here,
but it was.
Hold on, I'll give you a real quick rundown.
Like Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
No. Okay. So both of those examples are fake documentaries, mockumentaries.
Well, they're kind of situational. Okay.
But they're fake mockumentaries.
Awkward humor.
So where they're looking at the camera and doing that kind of shit. This is 100% scripted. So what is endearing about Ted Lasso is Ted Lasso himself, the coach, the main character, Jason Sudeikis, is this lovable. He's a lovable doofus who looks like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, but comes at the end of the day, he comes off as brilliant because he is a people person. He reads people super well, and he knows how to manage people. He doesn't know how to coach soccer at all, which is kind of the point. He's a former football coach, American football, who gets hired by a British or English football club to come over and coach their soccer team. And that's fish out of water. So he's an American living in England, and he's a hick. He's like almost not quite hillbilly, but like, what was he, Iowa or Kansas or something?
Yeah.
He's from Kansas. Yeah. He's from Kansas, and he coached a college football team to a national championship or something in the show. And then he gets, hired on.
Football.
Right. So he's this lovable doofus who's almost like you don't think he knows what he's doing, but then at the end of the day, he does. And it's not because he knows how to coach soccer. His assistant coach knows how to do that. It's because he knows how to read people, and he knows how to get them to gel and work together. Yep. And so that's the beauty.
It's given me a lot of Friday Night Lights vibes. The way you say
it's way better than that show. Way better than that show.
Honestly, like when season 1 was done, I was like, "This is fucking amazing." But then as season 2,
he's wrong.
And I will say,
take everything he's saying.
Typically, that doesn't
opposite plus that password on the line here.
That stuff doesn't really bother me. I truly do not think that stuff bothers me.
Do you think that you can watch 3 seasons?
How long is an episode?
Before
an hour,
next week?
45 minutes?
No, 25 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so my attention span's not going to go out the window.
Do you think you can watch a full 3 seasons by next week? Honestly, I'm being dead serious.
There's only one person at a time be logged in.
How long is each season? 9 episodes, 10 episodes, less?
10 to 12. I think 10 to 12.
And they're only 20-minute episodes?
22.
I could get through 1 and 2 easily. 3, I would probably give you an update halfway through, maybe.
The reason I ask is we could do a follow-up episode next week.
This would be fun.
And we can continue this argument next week with someone who has actually watched it. So now we've got 2 people, or 3 people who have watched it.
I'm not going to have time to watch shit.
Bullshit.
Dude, you don't realize how,
I'm off to the 6th.
I haven't even had dinner yet tonight, and it's 9 o'clock. I got to go to bed.
But that's because you had your teeth cleaned and you mowed your lawn.
Well, you don't have to brush your teeth tonight when you go to bed,
I thought it'd save me 3 minutes. Yeah.
I think that's enough to get a cookie in your mouth.
I wish I don't even have cookies.
Go to bed with ice cream.
Your wife, your girlfriend
she's been asleep for fucking...
The comedy that was in season 1 of that is just...
You can eat her cookie.
She's been asleep for an hour.
Frequent.
Wake her up.
Yeah, right.
And the moments become more about, like, sad, happy moments.
No.
And you're like, fuck, like, I want season 1 comedy.
No.
And then it just disappears.
He's wrong.
On deck for me was Yellowstone. I was going to start that.
I love that show.
I was going to start it.
Oh my god, that show is so... Yellowstone is so good. And I'll talk offline as to why I think Yellowstone is so good. It is so good. Yellowstone is...
Do you like The Office?
Everybody says that.
And Parks and Rec?
I love The Office. And Parks and Rec was good too, yeah.
But there's a level of dumb comedy you don't like. Like Hot Rod.
Sometimes.
Like MacGruber, you're not down there.
MacGruber, I think it was stupid as fuck. But I sat and chuckled a few times. But it's not something I'm going to choose to. If I see it on again, I'm not going to watch it.
Eastbound and Down. You didn't.
Oh my gosh!
I never watched it. I never watched it.
Pineapple. You don't like Danny McBride.
I don't like him
as a main character.
Correct. As a side character, I think he's hilarious. I thought Pineapple
Express.
I thought Pineapple Express was better than average.
Oh, Eastbound and Down's great.
I've never watched it.
It's great, but if you don't like Danny McBride, I mean, it's so much more of like a macho in your face.
Look at the IMDb.
Titties on jet skis.
Look at the IMDb rating of Ted Lasso.
Who do you think's fucking
and that's
leaving
a lot.
those?
That's 6 digits.
Who the fuck are you thinking?
IMDb is by people, not
That's
critics.
what I'm saying. Idiots.
But it's every idiot.
Yes, every idiot that has time to leave a review on a movie.
Rotten Tomatoes sucks because it's all critics. It's all critics. It's the average of critics.
Yes. I thought that was a user.
No. There is a section that shows you the
audience, and it's usually flipped. And if
first off, they show you is the critics score.
If Rotten Tomatoes is like 90% and the critics is like 25, and then you flip those, you can usually tell a good movie. If Rotten Tomatoes is ever like 90%, you're like, that's probably shitty.
Yeah. If you look at the critics and Rotten Tomatoes at 90%, you know it's a shitty movie.
Yeah.
If you look at the audience score and it's like above 60%, you know it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Rotten Tomatoes does break it up into audience and critics. IMDb is a whole bunch of different things. It's so there's 265,876 votes, and it's an 8.8 out of 10.
Right.
And if you go, the nice thing about it is if you go to the episode guide, season 3, here are the ratings of all the episodes: 7.8, 8.3, 7.9, 8.2, 7.1, 9.0, 8.4, 6.5, 8.5, 8.6, 9.4. And the last one has not been rated, but the one that that came out last week was 9.4. 9.4.
I will give you this. I will watch season 3.
Season 3 is fucking outstanding. So here's season 2 ratings. Here you go. You ready? 7.6, 8.0, 8.4, 8.6, 8.9, 8.6, 7.7.
That's just so wrong.
9.0.
That's wrong. That's just wrong.
What we've learned is you don't like feelings. You don't like emotions.
It has nothing to do with that. It
is exactly to do with that because it's a feel-good show that gives you feelings. You said all these things that aren't bad. It's not. That's why you hate the show.
They didn't start with this.
So
they started with something completely different.
So season 2 had a weird episode with Beard. Remember Coach Beard, where he went off and did his own thing.
Yes. What the fuck is that?
But that's the lowest rated episode of the season, 6.8. The rest of them are all over 7.8. The lowest rating.
They have a whole fucking episode of not soccer.
Sorry. The lowest rated episode of the season is 7.6, excluding that one, and then the next one 7.7. The rest are above 8.
Nothing about.
But you and I agree.
I'm really curious on which one y'all I'm going to side with.
So Trina and I watched that episode. We didn't like that episode either, and it's the lowest rated episode of the season.
The other ones aren't that far off.
They're all good. No,
you're
completely wrong.
No.
I think what happened is you watched that episode and it soiled the rest of the season for you.
Yeah, for sure it did.
But
that season,
a significant event happened. Did the main character go away?
What number? What
a couple of significant events happened in that.
What number is that into it?
There's a lot of
what number is what? It's late into the season.
Yeah, but also like the intra-club relationship and the ups and downs of that.
It was episode 9 in the season.
Yeah,
and you know what happened?
Leading up to that, it wasn't any fucking better.
You know why that
the inter-club relationship?
But do you know why that episode happened? Do you know why that episode happened? They got through the season, and they said, "Hey, we need one more episode." And before the rest of them aired, they filmed that episode, and I think it was by a different director. It was a completely different. It was just a whole different take on Beard, the coach Beard.
Should have just pulled it.
No, but it gave them 12 episodes for the season. So to answer your question, there's a total of 34 episodes.
That's easy to get through.
Yeah, at 22 minutes apiece.
Damn, I gotta put Kevin Costner to the side now. I'm
telling you. So Yellowstone starts.
I want to just how passionate you guys get.
Yellowstone starts back up in June, I think.
That's
the second half of this last season.
Yeah,
it's the last season. Mm-hmm. It is outstanding. You've never watched Yellowstone at all.
No.
So here's the thing about Yellowstone. Yellowstone by itself, amazing. Have any of you watched Yellowstone?
No. I don't have a lot of I don't have time to eat dinner. I don't have time to watch TV.
Oh my God!
I know. I've got to beast out of here so I can get dinner.
The guy with no kids
that gets up at 4 a.m. to get everything
but still,
done.
He has no kids. That's the biggest time suck in the world.
I won't doubt that it is. I just live a very busy life.
I'm not saying that you don't, but it's self-imposed busyness. Except for your work, it's self-imposed busyness.
You have a lot of self-imposed busyness.
I do, but I want to live a healthy lifestyle. I don't want to die in my 40s. I don't want to have heart disease.
Am I not living a healthy life?
I didn't say that you weren't.
Am I not living a healthy lifestyle?
Okay, works from home.
Yes.
Doesn't work from home.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's those things as well.
Fucking put your trump cards away, fuckback.
If I worked from home, I would have a lot different lifestyle.
We're not here for stats. Stats are for losers.
Yeah.
So speaking of Ted Lasso and soccer type shows, have any of you watched? I know you haven't, so I'll just move on to this.
I'm seriously going to get out of here.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, Wrexham.
I like to
sleep.
Wrexham.
Yeah,
at least.
Did you watch
6 hours?
I like it.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'd like to get at least 6 to 6.5 hours, which I'm not going to get.
Hey,
real quick, what did you think of this last one?
It's very unique with its pepperiness.
Grab your bottle.
I will.
You leave.
I need to try it without having 5 other fucking bottles before it.
6.
I mean 6 other bottles before it. And I will give you a better answer.
I was kind of blown away when I walked out.
Yeah, I know.
And I pulled a little three card Monty on you because we were talking about Maker's Mark.
Enjoy, fellas. Sorry.
No, you're good. You were here on time.
As always.
I'm not going to be upset about that. So I will say, welcome to Wrexham. Speaking of soccer shows, is another great show. It's a documentary. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, or what? How do you say his name?
I don't know.
That sounded right.
The guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
They bought a club in Wales, and it's.
But now this is real life, isn't it?
This is real life, and so they bought a club that had been relegated to the bottom tier of English soccer for years.
Okay.
And so the whole point was it's the oldest soccer club in all of Great Britain, I believe. And so season 2 is coming out soon, so I don't want to spoil anything to you. But season 1 is basically about them buying the club and trying to get them out of relegation to up into the regular league.
But it's a real thing.
It's a real.
This is like Hard Knocks with HBO and the NFL
documentary. But
it's actually Ted Lasso, except kind of.
But it's got a Ryan Reynolds spin to it.
Okay.
So it's
like a Deadpool spin.
Well, I mean, it's got him and Rob McElhenney or whatever his name is. They're both funny guys.
Yeah.
So they're
genuinely good people.
Yeah.
Very good.
But their comedy, their style.
Did you see how much money Reynolds has made recently? It's fucking absurd.
No.
He just sold his cellular company.
Oh yeah.
For just an absolute absurd amount of money.
Yeah. And he still owns Aviation Gin, right?
Have
you looked on YouTube to watch the Ryan Reynolds commercials with Aviation Gin and Virgin Atlantic?
What do you think Ryan Reynolds?
Those are hilarious. Look up on YouTube. Virgin
FX.
Listen.
Welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah, it's so good. So
what do you think Ryan Reynolds net worth is?
It's probably $1 billion.
That's absurd for a relatively low key actor.
He's not a low key actor at all. At all. He's played in
his net worth is $350 million.
Okay. But he owns Aviation Gin. He had partial ownership in a cellular company. He has been in Deadpool 1 and 2, 3 coming out soon.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, he was in one of the X-Men movies as Deadpool, but it was a bastardation of Deadpool.
What's his very first one that you can think of?
Fucking Van Wilder. Loved it. And then
Waiting.
Well,
Waiting.
I think Waiting was after Van Wilder. But
it could have been, but Waiting was my fucking favorite.
No. Way before that, when I was in college, he was in a sitcom called Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. One of the funniest fucking shows at the time. And then after a year or two of that, it became just Two Guys and a Girl. They got rid of the Pizza Place part of it because it was kind of goofy. But you could just tell watching that show, he was going to be a star. I called it. Like my girlfriend at the time, Natalie, I remember we would watch that show. We would stop doing stuff to go home and watch that show because we both loved it. She liked Ryan Reynolds because he was hot. And I liked Ryan Reynolds because he was hot and he was funny. He was funny. Like he was funny as shit. And you could just tell this guy's going to be hilarious. Like he's going to have a seriously successful career. You could just tell. Yeah. He was going to be a success. Yeah, we're almost done.
There's a straight shooter and middle management written all over him.
But you could tell he was going to be a success. And I was like, at that point, I bookmarked Ryan Reynolds. And then he made Van Wilder, which was... Have you seen Van Wilder?
Of course.
Have you seen Van Wilder?
I think you brought it up.
Yes,
I brought it up. He brought up
Waiting, which I fucking love.
I just watched it recently. It was on Roku.
Waiting?
Yeah, it was just on Roku for free.
Okay.
And we were sitting up in bed, and I was just like, I'm going to put that on. And oh my God, I forgot how good it was.
It's so good.
Jason Long is actually the main character, I think. Because it's mainly centered around Jason Long.
Yes.
Right. His progression of taking the management job.
But they take
he's such an awkward but great character as well.
They take it from the angle, though, of the new guy getting hired.
Right.
You know, the
and he
young
hates
guy.
This place.
Yeah.
Right.
And then at the end, he basically goes off on all of them.
Right.
And then he shows him his balls.
Yeah.
And then, but like that movie was so good. Anna Faris is in it.
Yeah. Who's the Mexican chef that
having sex with all the girls?
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't remember his name.
I mean, he's in everything
was famous too. He was famous too.
I can't believe Dane Cook had a role too.
Dane fucking Cook.
God, that movie was.
But if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know how fucking spot on it is.
And you know what's funny is I worked at Applebee's, which is I think what that place was modeled after.
Yep.
I honestly
it's like a Chili's.
I honest to God,
Luis
Guzman.
That's who it was. I honest to God think that place was honestly modeled after an Applebee's. Yeah. And I think it was filmed in an Applebee's, to be honest.
Or a TGI Fridays, that's with all the pins.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
Pieces of flair.
Yeah.
That's Office Space. Yeah. So, but like, I love that movie. When I first watched Waiting, I thought it was good because I'd already worked in a waiting type of job. And I thought it was good, but the more and more I've watched it since then, I've loved it even more.
Yes.
It's gotten better.
It ages great.
Yeah, it's aged so well.
Yeah. Everything about it, too.
Yeah, I love it.
And even the best part is, like, the fact that they all, like, party with each other, too.
Oh, that's a real part of restaurant life.
Yeah, like, they all hang out with each other.
Oh, that was the problem with working.
Everyone banged each other.
So here's the problem with... When you worked in a waiting career, that's what you did. If you closed, you all were all amped up at the end. You'd want to go out and do stuff, and you'd go meet at an apartment or whatever, and you'd go drink.
Dude, I always said I would never trust a girl that was
restaurant.
Yeah, I was like
no, but you would marry her because she'd know what she was doing later on when she wanted to settle down.
Yeah.
So. Trina worked at a Ruby Tuesdays. Just giving you some background.
She's Tyler backpedaling now.
Well, in the same context, Jillian was a lifeguard. Which
same thing. That's the same
and
thing, but with water.
You know what another job a college
was she?
Yeah. College girlfriend had that I actually encouraged. I had a girlfriend in college that worked as a cart girl at a country club. And they actually dressed pretty conservatively, and I was like...
They don't need to dress, because they're fucking old men. They just need to see boobs. That's
but I was unbuttoned.
They make good money.
I was like, dude, they did.
They make fantastic
They were like making
money.
$200+ a day.
They didn't need to unbutton because it was a bunch of horny old men.
I was like, man, unbutton a little bit more.
They didn't need to.
She was fucking rich. I was like... making so much fucking money every day as a cart girl.
It's all under the table too. It's cash. It's tips.
I was like,
plus a lot of stock. Advice.
Right.
A lot of stock advice.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I was always so fucking pissed. I was like, why can't a fucking dude have a job making that fucking much money?
That's how the world works. If women ever listen, if women ever realized the power that they wield, it would be a women-dominated society.
Yeah.
No lie.
A lot of the stand-up comedians talk about that.
Do they?
Yeah.
But I'm being dead serious. Like, honest to God, if women realized the power that they wield, we would be...
Yeah.
We wouldn't be talking about this paternal or whatever they call it society. It would be a maternal society.
Yeah.
You're mincing a 5-star episode now.
Yeah. We're talking about an 8.8 on IMDb right now. That's where we're at.
Yep. That's where the bar is at.
Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up like Tyler's penis doesn't need to be anymore. Yeah. So
someone, you know what? Someone said I can go full contact now.
Oh. Yeah. So my brother-in-law made a joke when he got his vasectomy. He's like, license to cheat. I was like, there's going to be no evidence after this. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yes.
All right, guys. So thank you for joining another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. On behalf of Dude and Brett, who just left, and we got Tyler and...
The Flying Buckeye.
The Flying Buckeye. He's not going to say his real name ever again. Hey, someone just ordered 2 Bourbon Hunters Kinsey Drams.
Nice.
I got to ship those out tomorrow.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that. I thought it was going to be someone from the funeral because it happened while, that weekend.
Do you have any extra?
Yeah, I've got extra.
I need to take one.
For what?
I'll tell you after.
Fucking fuck. All right. Anyway. All right, guys. Thanks for joining in. Next week, I know this was a long episode. Maybe I'll divide it into 2 if there's a good stopping point. Yeah, but next week, we'll do something cool.
We'll see if I pass on with my Ted Lasso assignment.
Yes, that is the
Ted
assignment.
Lasso challenge.
That is the Ted Lasso challenge. We'll talk about that next episode. Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining in for yet another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. If you like what you hear, please leave us a good rating on Apple, Podbean, Google, or wherever you are listening. It definitely helps us to get great guests on our show. And follow us on Instagram and the Facebooks to keep up to date with what is in our glass. As always, sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy some bourbon.